Alright, welcome back to the Teenage Exocolonist. This music feels louder than it was before. Just turn the music down a little bit. There we go. We're in the last and final year of the first ever playthrough. We'll just have to see what ending we get by the end of it. I feel like I'm like super rebellious, which is fine. I probably will be in every playthrough. Well, I probably need one playthrough where I'm not. Let's see, enlightened by mastering a skill. I literally just need to master toughness and I'll have all the physical ones. Plus one of physical skill increases for 3 months. Do any of these give me toughness? Probably not. It's bravery, perception in animals, perception in biology, perception in engineering, animals in combat. Let's see. Let's spend our birthday month just trying to get that toughness up. Like, I might get other toughness later, but why not? Let's see. So I guess sports ball. Just need 1 toughness. I don't know if I want to play sports ball this late in the game, you know? I mean, I also could just, like, go shovel dirt or whatever. Nem shoots you a small smile as you approach. There's still a lot to do before sundown. If you need me, I'm here. I gotta remember all their voices again, as if I didn't just do this earlier this week. Let's see. Let's just go over here to geoponics. Shovel dirt. It's 3 toughness. And I get +1 all physical skill increases, so we'll shovel dirt. For my birthday month, I guess. Before we continue, let me make sure everything should be doing a-okay sound-wise. Yeah, audio is good. Just want to be 100%. You and Cal goof off a lot while you're shoveling. It helps pass the time, because otherwise you just think about dirt and how much your arms hurt. He loves to make up games while you're working, or to sing silly songs. He really likes this game where you build a story by alternating saying 1 word at a time. We play that now. Oh, I forgot that I have to do all of this. Oh, it's not like multiple layers of this, so everything's just gonna be wild. That's... Ooh. I don't have a good one, so we'll just do this. Hit 60 and the super goal was 52. Not bad, not bad. Plus 8 toughness. Ding, 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 ding. Reach 100 in all 4 skills at once. Nice. Let's see. 5 from 1 challenge. Super goal. Or 1 challenge. Super goal. Virky Gear 3. Physical boost perk. And heroic status. I needed 3. I literally did this because I needed 3. And now I need to relax because, man, I'm stressed. I should just relax this month. It's okay, though. As usual for this time of year, your dreams have been more vibrant and invasive. You have trouble distinguishing dreams from reality during the day, and you dread falling asleep at night. Huh? How did that hot eye get into your bedroom? I have to shoo it away. I'm going to follow it. You chase it out your balcony door and find yourself on a thickly wooded path, the mush wood pressing in close on every side. The light is weird here, pink and glittering, casting teal shadows. The hop-eye disappears down a hole in the ground, and without thinking, you dive after it, squeezing your shoulders to fit through. I want to bring the audio back up. Music. I suppose it was just that loud on the screen here. You tumble into a cave, beautiful and surreal, shimmering with a light that seems to come from within. When you take a step forward, granules of pink sand crunch underfoot. Oh, that's so bright. The cave opens out to a forest that seems lifted from a fairy tale. The sunlight beams through breaks in the trees, illuminating a path of mushroom-ringed stepping stones that lead you to a small cottage. You spot the Hawkeye for hurrying further down the path. Ooh, I don't know if this... I feel like it might matter. But we're going to follow the Hawkeye. Let's just see where it takes me. Past the cottage is a field dotted with hunched-over figures. You watch them tend the crops with simple, robotic motions, not caring as you tromp through their work. Their straw hats and overalls look tattered. When you pass close to one, you realize they're not human at all. They're made of metal. Sightless glass eyes stare back at you, metal faces pockmarked with rust. The rasp of their terrible creaking floods your ears like a cloud of cicadas. The closest robot turns to you, its glass eyes shine red, and it grabs you by the wrist. Its grip is painful, bringing you to your knees in the loamy dirt, pushes you down, planting you like a seed. The ground swallows you and you can't even cry out. You're falling. You land hard on solid ground, your breath whooshing from you. It's not here. It's hot here, impossibly hot. The twin suns beat down on you, burning your skin on contact. The air is almost painful to breathe. In all directions stretches a barren wasteland of dead trees, like bones puncturing the dry skin of the planet. You rise from the dusty, cracked earth and begin to walk, stumbling over the bones of unknown creatures. You don't know where you're walking, only that the horizon doesn't change. The red sky just stretches overhead like a great bowl of heat pressing down on you. A great roar shakes you, and you turn to see a chimeric nightmare, a manticore, but with Governor Lum's face. He towers over you from a podium, his claws clacking and his tail thrashing as he... I don't know that word. We, primeval forest felling, he chants. We, the rivers stemming, piercing deep the mines within. We, the surface broad surveying. We, the virgin soil upheaving. Overhead, the sky is streaked with smoke. You hear a rumbling in the distance. Stand to face it. I am brave. You plant your legs and refuse to look away from the beast. With a yell from behind you, Mars appears and swings a sword made of light at the Lum abomination. Its head rolls across the dirt, but it continues to speak. You turn from the scene and walk away, feeling the memory of it cling to you as you push and claw your way through another reality. You stumble forwards into a dark, glowing forest. Blessedly cool air brushes your cheeks, thick with moisture and making your face wet as if you'd been crying. The path wends upward, flanked by humanoid figures carrying candles. Some are wearing robes, some armor, some lab coats and enviro suits and formal wear. Some are elderly, and some barely 10 years old. All turn to look at you, and you realize with a jolt, they're all you. Or they're you, sorry. Every single one of them is you. You see yourself reflected in their eyes as they gaze upon you dispassionately, a line of possibilities stretching out as far as you can see. The Hawkeye crouches between the ranks and gazes solemnly out as you pass. You walk steadily upward, feeling their unflinching gaze follow you. Overhead, the wormhole hangs in the sky like an overripe fruit, bending the heavy branch of space and time towards you. It's so close, you feel as if you could touch it. You stretch your hand out, seeking. You wake up. Milky, quiet sunlight pours through your window. Flakes of bromide snow piling up against the glass. You feel as tired as when you went to bed. It's your birthday. You're 19 years old. Only one more year as a teenager. Gain status insomnia, that's fair. That's funny, plus when all mental skill increases and the mental skill increases 57, they just balance each other out. So I guess they consider you a teenager until you're 20 here, which would have been nice, but no. Oof. A new perk. Oh yeah, immune to injury. Never receive the injury status effect when hurt. Nice. I think I've only received an injury one time, and it was early in the game. So helps me not. We're just gonna relax on the walls. You're sort of half-heartedly scouting by walking along the walls when you come across what looks like a little memorial shrine. You tucked into an alcove. In it are drawings and mementos from the people who've passed away, including Tammy. I'm reading this quickly because I've already been through it. You're struck once again by the senselessness of her death, letting the grief wash over you just as strong as the day she died. It's hard to believe that you came this far, through space, only to lose a friend in such a sudden and pointless way. You leave the shrine. This is. Oh, it's real sad music, too. I'm just gonna keep the cards. That's fine. I was hoping to encounter Dis. The friendship's almost 100 with him, too. Cal was second, and he's at 90. That's not too bad, though. Okay. Let's see. Let's probably go out and explore this month again. Because all the events have respawned, because it's quiet. It's the month of quiet. Okay. Hold on a moment. Ooh, look at that interesting thing over here. I'm gonna click it. You find your way blocked by a massive wall. No, a hollow pillar, knocked over and lying on its side in the sand. We're just gonna check it out again. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything new from these. But I'm gonna keep checking them out. Because why not? Certainly benefit me. I need a good streak. So if we do this, that's okay. 28. Let's see. 5. Ooh, I don't have a good 6. Let's see, that would just become 5 again. Well, if we do that, let's just go and do this here. Becomes wild. Oh, sorry, that way. So that stays a 4. Now I only need 21. So let's see if we do this here. Just keep that. That's gonna become a 3 regardless. Let's make that a wild. Because then that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not really what I need there. Super goal was 32. Got it anyways. Plus 2 engineering. I have more scraps of the emergent domain. Writing. And technology, document everything, bring back to Utopia. Yep, as it goes. As it goes. I only really feel like I'll go up there if I see something worth picking up. No? Okay. Good, honestly, because I kind of just want to beeline it to the end. Utopia? Utopia has sent a team of geologists to get a closer look at this region's weird terrain. Come across them working, and Utopia beckons you over. Solana, she says, drawing everyone's attention to you. Solana, come here. Come here, everyone. Solana's been working in this area a while, and I'm sure she got plenty of information on what's out here. The geologist politely turned towards you and listened. Here's what we got so far, Utopia says, speaking directly to you. Judging from how the layers of sedimentation are broken up, this place used to be pretty flat before. There must have been a ton of earthquake activity ripping up the land and bringing up these huge ridges. We can date the quakes around the time a lot of these ruins were created, she adds, and we're looking, but we haven't seen anything built after them. Like that was it for the old convergent domain. These broken up layers are the same across the planet. Something sure happened about 20,000 years ago. Share your findings on the obsidian layer. Nice. You explain that below the sands there is a thick layer of dark silica crystal obsidian stuff the convergent domain used. Utopia nods. Right, you can see it. Right, you can see it in the striations, yeah? It's one of the major landmarks in the geological timeline. Obsidian and earthquakes are both associated with volcanoes, but there are no volcanoes here. Not even a fault line, Utopia says, wiping her forehead. It's just not natural. You set up a drone hive to measure the sedimentary layers across the cliffside and learn a few things about rocks. Nice. Ooh, something to pick up. I honestly do feel like the music is louder this time, unless I'm just crazy and I have my sound too loud. I am crazy and have my sound too loud. overall sound on the computer being lower would make a lot more sense. Sim! Bro, I knew you weren't dead. In my heart, I knew you weren't dead. I had the morning state, so I kind of thought you were dead, but like in my heart, I was like, you can't be dead. Not like that. You're taking a sample at the base of a tree when you feel something patter off of your head and fall to the ground. It's a nut? That's strange. This species isn't usually... You look up, and your stomach lurches when you realize you've been being watched this whole time. A pair of familiar eyes pierce down at you from the branches. It's... Sim? He grins down at you. Well, if it isn't the little human. Have you come to visit me, Sugarbug? But I saw you die. I'm stabbing the heck through you. It's an alien ghost. I'm gonna say, but I saw you die. Didn't you? He says slyly. You'd think I would remember that. If you did witness my death, I apologize. Sim continues. He leans down from his branch, his long hair dangling just out of reach. I imagine I didn't enjoy it much either. You just die and come back. It's a gardener thing, he replies dismissively. He's so casual about it. Make regular backups just in case. Backups? Sim gives you a little smile. Surely by now you know I cannot divulge the specifics of my role here. Doesn't stop you from hinting. Sim's smile goes wider, and he thrills with laughter. I know. Oh, having a secret is much more gratifying than I expected it would be. I guess I'm happy you're alive. Sim sighs gratuitously. I wish everybody felt that way, mutters. One of my associates seems to feel otherwise. At your confused look, he waves his hand. One of the other gardeners, noctilucent. They really don't care for you humans, I'm afraid, and they're aware I've taken an interest in you. With a soft whoop, Sim drops gracefully out of the tree and dusts himself off. Claps you on the shoulder. I'd watch out for them if I were you, he says. They're quite dangerous. I've actually encountered them already. Sim turns to leave, but you sputter and grab his sleeve. You can't. After all that, you deserve some answers. Real ones. He owes you that. He turns to you, one arc eyebrow raised. What is it, Solana? What do you really do here? Sim gives you a blank smile. I'm a gardener, he says simply. I was created to be a gardener, and I imagine I will be one until my services are no longer required. At your look of confusion, Sim softens. Humanity is so concerned with purpose, he says sadly. It's because you were not created for one, and you spend the entirety of your short lives under the impression you need one. The concept of someone having a purpose must be seductive. He shrugs one elegant shoulder. My existence is simple. I act in the ways for which I was created. That is not an interesting answer for an individualistic species as yourselves. I'm aware. Perhaps we must both accept that it may be beyond the human capacity to comprehend. Are you really Sim? The one and the same, Sim answers, carefully prying your hand from his clothing. I acknowledge this is difficult for you to understand. He takes a deep breath, considering his words carefully. Humans have but one short window of consciousness, which encourages you to think of yourselves as individual points in the line of history. You are, quite clearly, not your parents or your grandparents, or your unborn children or your own. You are your own marvelous creature. He places his hand on his chest. I do not disappear when this form dies. I am eternal, in a sense. I am all who came before, and I am all whom will come after. I am my own legacy. I am symbiosis. He tilts his head to the side, as if listening to something, and squeezes your hand. I fear I have said too much. I hope I can see you again soon, and that all may be revealed to you. When he's like in the tank or whatever, I assume, when he was always slips up and he says it. That he's in this pod or whatever. He's making backups. I wonder if that's like a daily thing for him. I feel like that'd be pretty annoying to constantly make backups, but at the same time, it helps you retain the most. Like, if that day went awry, well, you can just start back over with who you were the day before. I'm like, yeah, you may not remember that day and what transpired, but you'd only miss a day. And of course, there's the trauma of people who watch you die, that, you know, but you're not really missing out on much. So, just a day. Nice, multiple strange devices down here. Oh, this did not respawn. That's sad. I want to keep exploring then. I was hoping that would respawn, but it did not, so I guess we'll just do all the rest of these. Getting thirsty, the backup canteen is missing. Suns are high. Search for water. I'm just gonna skim through these really quickly because we're just trying to get through the year. So let's see, put the 4s out here. Ooh, that's a gem card though. So maybe we don't want to do that. We could probably do these. It's not too bad. It's not a good order or anything, but it's a good 21 right out the gate anyway, so we'll just keep it. 7, 6, 5. What if I do this? There we go. It's not a good streak because that jumps up, but it's okay. It's okay. Neighbors become wild in this. And the value is wild. Look, I already hit my goal. And I didn't even end up using those, so it's fine. Let's see, that's 54, but that value is wild, then what if we do that instead? 59? Whatever, I don't think it matters. I'm not trying to do the absolute best, and I can't even get any more perception. There's no natural water around here, but in your search you find your last team, which brings my stress back to where it was. Investigating a weird squeaking noise eventually followed its source. An undulating swarm of sleek creatures is gathering a cliff above you. As you watch, they throw their tiny bodies off the edge, plummeting past you and out of sight. They scream and screech in excitement. Okay, weird. I realize that's a new one. We'll get close. You pick your way down the slope, finding a second herd of miraculously unharmed weasels at the bottom. As you watch them, one lands on your head and, squeaking indignantly, goes to join the rest of its kin. Ouch. You hear the flapping of wings and look up. A whole colony of pink and orange dwarfsmouth clings to the rock overhead, nearly camouflaged. As the squealing of the weasels above reaches a fever pitch, the dwarfsmouths restlessly take off from the cliff and flutter around. You watch as one of the little creatures pitches off the edge of the cliff and lands square on a dwarfsmouth's back, sending them both plummeting to the bottom. As the large moth crashes fatally into the ground, the weasel curls its body and bounces harmlessly away, then scurries back to feed on its prey. Ooh, bounce! Oh, bounce weasels! You record the screeching on your hollow palm. What a noise. Okay, sorry. Somebody was responded to my question. Trudging along, you suddenly are buffeted by hot wind. I remember this one, the defensive barrier. I turn off the thing to turn off the hot wind. Okay, we're gonna go to the relaxing rock. Or maybe not, I guess. The caterpillar dragon. Take some readings. That's technically the calm rock. So that's more of these guys. Climb up on its back. Climb down the other side. One day I should hassle the dwarf's mouth. Sim. Sim is holding a piece of discarded expeditions equipment in his hand. I found this just over there, he says, gesturing into the wilderness. I don't know if it was discarded or simply lost, but you should be more careful. You are guests on this planet. Jim, come down. Of course, Sim murmurs, stepping into your space. His cool hands alight on your cheeks, tilting your head to look in his eyes. Within moments, you feel the burdens of your day lift off your shoulders, like a balloon floating away into the sky. Your consciousness reasserts itself some time later. You find yourself held in Sim's long arms. You blink away the brain fog and pull yourself together, thanking him for the experience. Sim smiles. It was my pleasure, Solana. Stay safe out there. I'm glad that Sim is not dead. I'm very glad. And so glad, in fact. Aw, Solana, Sim greets warmly. My favorite human. What can I do for you? I don't know what he would even like. All this is natural to his planet. Would he like a crystal cluster? I like crystals. He likes crystals! Sim examines the crystal for a moment and then hands it back to you. I think you'd better hold on to this, Solana, he says. You may need it later. No, I wonder if he just likes everything. I mean, that'd be interesting, but I wonder. Oh, this is the anti-gravity area, which is on which card becomes social yellow. That honestly, that's better than it being locked as a number. Because I hate when it does that. Hate when it locks it as a number. Doesn't really matter to me here. If it's social, I mostly go off the numbers anyways. So, okay, that's pretty rude. You gotta do that, do it like that. There's no good way to. Never mind. Take that one off. Oh no, because that one just keeps adding a 2. Stop it. That would become a 7. Scooch these guys down. Well, then that. This hurts my soul. This hurts my soul. Get rid of that. Put that up there. At least there's a little bit of a streak. I ain't gotta work so hard on it. Let's actually just start with the big numbers. We're not doing that one because that adds stress, and I'm clearly not doing the best on my stress at the moment. So, let's see. 6, 5, 4, 3. Why not? A 46. Nice. Superb. Good enough. Plus your bravery. And I got a little bit of relaxed a little, which is good. Is there one over here? Yes. And then we'll go to the crystal area. Cross the bridge very carefully. Nice. I keep getting those because I keep crossing these bridges. Okay. My stress is back up to 70. That's fine. Just means I won't be able to do all of the events out here, but I'll at least be able to do a good chunk of them. Utopia sent you a disc to study one of the large crystal outcroppings. Take a look at these alien solar panels. Neat. I was hoping to find the relaxing rock thing. Like, I don't know why I couldn't find it. Because I thought it was there, and for a while it was there, but now I guess it's just some random event. It's not always the relaxing rock. If I just move on. Good thing too, because a whole swarm of them is coming over the horizon. You're out of there before they arrive, and you come back later in the week. Yep. No point in going through all of the challenge or whatever if it's just going to end the same way, really. I don't think I get anything out of that. I should go home soon. You're right. We're going to do one more thing. We're probably end up going home. Honestly, we're going to look up this time. Because I don't look up normally. Oh, yeah, like I figured. I had a feeling the very first time, too. Even though I didn't think float cows would be here. A herd of float cows are bobbing overhead like hot air balloons, drifting west in the prevailing winds. You've seen these creatures being milked in the colony's farms. During migration season, their helium sacs swell to make them lighter than air so they can safely travel great distances. You've also heard what they use for... Yep. It wasn't rain at all. It was float cow urine. You try to dodge another shower, but it splatters down on you, soaking your heads and shoulders. Ah, gross. At least the heat makes it evaporate quickly. See, it's fine if I got more stressed because I was gonna get 10 anyways, so... But that is gross, though I suppose it is confirmation. Normally I do just run, though. And I don't even look. I'm like, nah, book it. Cal wants to talk to me? We can talk to Cal. That's fine. And then... Wait, hold on. Cal moved. I think he's over there. Let's see whose birthday it is. I know it's not my girl Nem, but you know what I wish I could do? I wish I could just click on somebody and then click the little arrows to go to the next. Rex is early pollen. Yep. So it was one of the new peeps. Well, I say new peeps. As if they haven't been here for half the game. Rex. Let's do your birthday hugs. And give you a stick. So. I used to have so many Lushwood logs. Oh, he wants to talk to me now. Sorry, Kelly, you're gonna wait a second. You follow the sounds of laughter and find Nami Nami and Rex playing catch. Or maybe the word for the game they're playing is more like... Or playing catch. I'm sort of like playing fetch. Nami throws the ball as far as they can, and Rex tears after it, climbing and leaping over anything in his way like it's not even there. Rex hands the ball back to Nami, and Nami winds up to throw it again. But at the last second, they palm the ball and hide it under their arm. Rex barrels off away from Nami with his ground-eating stride and gets pretty far away before he stops and looks around, confused. He looks back at Nami, who waggles the ball at him and bursts out laughing. Nami, he shouts, running back to them. He picks them up and hauls them over his shoulder, and Nami shrieks with delight as Rex spins them around. Two Helio kids in their crisp uniforms pass by, glaring archly at Nami and Rex. Rex sets Nami down and then spots you over Nami's shoulder. "Well, hey, it's Alana," he says. And Nami turns around and gives you a stunningly bright smile. Rex slings his arm over Nami, and Nami lays their head on his shoulder. They're both breathless and beaming with happiness. I missed something. Are you two dating? It's kind of funny. Let's deal with your Helios friends. Rex and Nami look at each other and stick out their tongues. They aren't our friends, Rex replies, shrugging. All they want to do is act like mindless little soldiers and measure each other's... He rolls his eyes. There's so many more fun things to do with... Nami thumps Rex in the chest. Don't be gross, they whine. Sorry, Nami, Rex apologizes. There's me. We don't need anyone else. Ever since we were kids, it's been me and Nami Nami here. They're my best friend. I love them like my sibling. Nami smiles shyly and hides their face. Rex is my best friend too. Aw, buddy. Rex coos and wraps his whole body around Nami's smaller one. He kisses them noisily on the cheek, snuffling into their hair, while Nami shrieks with laughter again. We were always at odds. We were always the odd ones out on the heliopause, Rex says. People thought we were weird, you know? You probably don't see it because everyone is so awesome here, but compared to the rest of those smug, boring jerks, we really stuck out. But I'd rather be different than be like them. He looks down at Nami, who beams up at him. And I got to be different with my best friend, which was awesome. We just hung out together and had our own fun while everyone else trained to be proper little soldiers. Right, Nami? Nami frowns. Like they some of his croonies, they say quietly. It was all fun and games. Rex shushes Nami and strokes his hand through their hair. I know, he says, but that's in the past. We don't have to grow up to be soldiers. We're here now. And there's so many more people to be friends with. He shoots you a smile. Like Selena. And then I can flirt. With Nami! I was expecting that to be Rex. Maybe more than friends. So to follow colony rules. Yeah, I'm your friend. Rex smiles and holds his other arm out to you. Group hug! Rex gives really good hugs. And Nami's no slouch either. Plus 2 friendship with both of them. Cal also wishes to talk to me, so Cal. It's hot and humid inside the geoponics bay, making your clothes stick to your skin as you look around for Cal. Eventually you see him, his back turned to you as he lifts bags of fertilizer into a wheelbarrow. You call out to him as you approach, and he turns to you with a beaming smile. Solana, he greets you. I was hoping I would see you today. As you open your mouth to respond, you hear a quiet crack and a hiss from nearby. Oh, Dudette, watch out, Cal says, stepping between you, and what you realize, too late, is a humidity sprinkler. Cal laughs as he's blasted with a cloud of mist. For one perfect moment, he looks as if he's been outlined with 1,000 rainbows. I wish that would show up in the art. I bet that would look so nice. Aw, Dip. What is that, Cal? Smiling, Cal whines, smiling, as he shakes out his hair and flips it back over his shoulder. I should have let you take that one, but your clothes would have gotten wet. That's fine. He stands up straighter as your gaze passes over his body. He's really grown into himself, is the thing. Game, what are you implying? And also I'm dating an enemy? Right? You don't gotta do me like that. Before your eyes, a droplet of water bravely winds its way from the rise of his chest and down the rippling muscles of his abdomen to where it disappears into the shirt tied around his waist. I take it this is the part where, like, if I wanted to date him, I could. At least I feel like we're getting there. Because this is, I think, one of the few times I actually get the opportunity to flirt with him so far that I've seen. Cal tilts his head, his smile turning a little teasing. He flexes his bicep at you. Caught you looking. I do love the dialogue option for flirting with him. Of course I am. Have you seen yourself? Dude, you're blind if you take your own shirt off, dude. That's so funny. Wait, hold on before I do. What is up with my model? Anytime I look. Okay, we're good. Take your own shirt off, too. Gal laughs and jokingly covers his eyes as you take off your shirt. You twirl it around your finger and launch it at his face. Learned Cal augment? I learned his augment? Only at the very last year? Ugh, Cal whines, throwing your shirt back at you. Regular people are so sweaty. You stand being wet all the time. Cal puts his hands on his hips and fixes you with a cocky grin. I'm always the right temperature, thanks to my enhancement. I don't even need to sweat. You should try it sometimes, bro. Get on my level. Bro, get on my level to me. You spend an enjoyable afternoon helping Cal deliver bags of fertilizer to every corner of the hydroponics bay. When the job's done, he claps you on the back. Oof, he is as strong. He's as strong as he looks. Cal chatters at you about his plans for the rest of the week as you leave the hydroponics lab. The relatively cooler, drier air of Vertumna hits you like a slap. But of course, Cal doesn't look bothered at all. Race you to the cafeteria. He teases you before taking off down the path. You yell and run after him, causing a ruckus that makes a few adults shake their head fondly at you as you tear through the colony side by side. All what good childhood fun, despite the fact that we're, like, nearly adults. So. Alright, back to relaxing on the walls. Oh yeah, the view of our destruction to Vertumna. Let's one to all fight challenges. Honestly, I don't know if that really matters much to me anymore, so. We're now in Mid-Pollen, which I don't know if that's anybody's birthday. Also, now that it's a new season, I'm literally one friendship away. Now that it's a new season, I wonder if we can go on a date. Yay! Nem is standing with a few other soldiers. She nods at you as you approach. Let's spend some time together. Nem checks the time on her hollow and smiles. Yeah, I think I can swing that. You avoid Vase. You walk hand in hand with Nem from the garrison, passing Vase as you go. He gives you a venomous look. He's barely keeping himself from spitting on both of you. well, reduces my stress. Nem breathes a sigh of relief when you're outside. It's so awkward with him always around, she says. He's not over the fact that you and I are dating now. Despite that, or perhaps to spite face, you and Nem enjoy a perfectly pleasant walk through the colony, talking about things that don't concern him at all. I love that. Or perhaps just spite him. You know, maybe. Just spite him a little bit. Okay. Survey the Ridge only has a couple things. Like, what I really need is that, like, boss event type thing at the end to respawn. But I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will. I'm afraid to go forage in the valley. Last time I did, Sim died right in front of me. It's terrifying. But I like going out and exploring, even if it is certainly the more time-consuming option. Honestly, let's see if we can get bravery up. And biology's got a little bit. No, they have both the same way to go. Let's try to get bravery max, just because that's kind of the route I went. With some bravery and physical. Ooh, a stick. Also, this is where I can get more sticks for Rex. I haven't really been looking around the colony like I should for collectibles. Sim is out there. I can also get eggs for an enemy, too. For my girl Nam. Let's check back here first. Oh, goodness. I might do this one while I'm here, so I don't have to come back here again. Warning, error, a file failed to save. Your hard drive may be full or the game may be corrupt. Okay, hold on 2 seconds, guys. What is happening here? Hold on. I'll be right back. Alright. I've got no idea if I fixed it, so we'll just have to wait and see. You walk into a clearing and immediately stop in your tracks. There's a Unisaur here. You've seen them before. They still fill you with a sense of awe. Why would I want to attack it? Should be as quiet as possible. Do these have rounds? I don't understand. This seems unnecessary. Seems greatly unnecessary. Goal 26 from that. Nice. Okay. That's gonna be huge numbers, huge numbers. We're just gonna dump all the 6s up here. Now I literally only need to slap a 7 down. Literally just slap that down anywhere, and I'd have my goal. So. That's fine, we'll just do it this way. Who cares, right? Who cares? Super goal blown through the water. Can't get the perception anyways. Cool. Goes back to its business. Nice, as if I had any stress to reduce. Doing all these stress reducing things, even though I literally just spent the whole previous month doing nothing but relaxing. So I'm, not stressed. Alright, Sim. Sim materializes out of the forest before you. Solana, he says gravely. Sorry. Solana. Forgive my directness, but you must come with me now. He places his hand on your shoulders. Please trust me when I say I've done my best to argue on behalf of your kind. I hope only for the continued survival of humanity. Ominous. It is very ominous. He crouches down to slide into a hidden opening under the roots of a tree. You follow, feeling strangely as if you're crawling into the belly of some animal. You emerge into a cave filled with the hum of strange machinery. A bank of ancient-looking control panels and a crystal tank of glowing liquid seems almost to have grown out of the natural rock. Mineral deposits from moisture trickling down the walls have reclaimed some of them. Sim leads you to a console. This is the array, he says, pressing what seems to be buttons. As I've explained, this body I wear is only a vessel. My consciousness, the person who I am, is stored in the array. I return to it regularly, storing my body in the regeneration tank while I back up what I've learned that day into the array. Physical forms are prone to injury and death, Sim says quietly. It is temporary but highly unpleasant. Therefore, the Overseer prefers to remain in the array. Sim directs you to 2 weirdly fungal growths. Please, take hold of these interface handles. You cautiously touch the handles and say, Overseer bodies are icky. So the Overseer computer, I don't know how I feel about this. Nothing to be afraid of, just a little mind-matter interface. A strange presence speaks in your mind. Oh, I just feel like, holy crap. Play it cool. You can feel the Overseer pause, and a sensation in your mind that reminds you of someone clearing their throat. I am the Overseer, the voice continues. I speak for the gardeners. We will now show you what we are. This is so weird. You have the oddest feeling of memories being inserted into your mind. First a trickle, then a flood. A civilization called the Convergent Domain once existed on this planet over 2,000 years ago. In your mind, you see their dominion stretched from pole to pole, their farms and solar arrays glittering on the surface as their massive cities tunneled below. I already know about the domain. We are aware of that, the Overseer replies, its voice dry in your mind. We know most everything that happens on this planet. The Convergent Domain created the Gardeners as their ecological control system, a vast network of artificial intelligence stored deep underground in the digital array. Self-propagating control towers and cloning stations were seeded, allowing a gardener program to take biological form, downloading a copy of its consciousness into a host body created to suit the task at hand. You think of Sim, his body created to suit the task of befriending you? Under the direction of the Convergent Domain, the gardeners controlled the weather, the acidity of the soil, the cultivated species in their farms, and the rapidly shrinking wild areas of the planet. The Overseer doesn't quite sigh, but you get the impression it would. Over time, the domain nearly destroyed this planet. Didn't respect nature? Correct, the Overseer responds. They saw the natural world as an unending buffet of resources. The exhaust from their factories blanketed the planet, choking out sunlight and oxygen. They consumed too much, destroyed the planet's ecosystem, then fought bitterly over the remaining resources. The last directive the gardeners were given by the domain was to repair the planet's destroyed ecosystem. The Overseer said something. The gardeners tried, but it was too late. When the crops failed and the atmosphere became too thick for sunlight to pierce, the convergent domain perished by the billions. The last survivors took to the sky in colony ships and never returned. You tried to imagine a tragedy on this scale, but it's just too enormous, too abstract to wrap your head around. The Overseer continues relentlessly, new thoughts flooding into your mind. Before I read that, I can imagine a tragedy of this scale. I can. Over the millennia, the gardeners took their task seriously. It takes little effort to render a planet inhospitable, but significant dedication to restore it. Which is something I swear people on this Earth don't know. On this planet Earth, we're just destroying it constantly and not restoring it at all. Under the guidance of the gardeners and the final directive of the convergent domain, nature at last reclaimed the barren planet. The garden existed in perfect balance, and now your species has invaded it. Making this place less boring, nowhere else to go. Your kind had the option to stay where they were, the Overseer replies, the tone of its thoughts darkening. Do you think we have empathy for the convergent domain who fled in colony ships? The ones who selfishly refused to give their bodies back to the planet they destroyed with their pride? You chose to come here, the Overseer continues, and you continue to stay here. You could instead choose to die. You shudder involuntarily. Some Vertumnan species have a technique of future sight, which the gardeners harness to catch glimpses into the web of timelines. We see that you possess this technique too, alone in your kind. We have foreseen that humans pose a great danger to this planet. You are a monoculture, an invasive species. You throw our hard-won balance in disarray. Since arriving, you have shown nothing but a willingness to consume the planet's resources and replace them with more humans. Hold on, laptop is dying. Let me fix that real quick. Charge it, yes. When we are here, we have as much right to anything, the right to live as anything, we ever landed. I'm going to apologize, but it's really because I myself, as a human being, not in the game, but real life, human being in the game, obviously, as well. But we are a bane, a curse to our own planet, and I would feel horrible for doing that to another planet, especially a planet like this, that took so long to, repopulate into a beautiful garden, as it puts it, to recover from such a tragedy and be hospitable to plants and creatures. And we're just here to ruin it, as humans do, so I am gonna say sorry, even though I literally had no choice over the matter of the fact that we landed. I'm sorry we ever landed. Your guilt is inconsequential, the Overseer replies. We have observed that this emotion makes humans behave defensively. They avoid the cause of the guilt, or worse, try to destroy it. No, it is better to pull a blighted plant from the root. Most gardeners prefer to stamp you humans out like encroaching weeds, the Overseer says, without malice. Sorry. Indeed, we have tried, using ecologically compliant organic methods. We were impressed at your tenacity to withstand these eradication procedures. The early attacks, the famine, the pollen, not random natural occurrences at all, but gardeners' tactics to encourage the eradication of pests. But symbiosis speaks in defense of your kind, the Overseer continues, and took effort to convince us that you were sentient and capable of communication. You present us with a quandary. You come from the stars, refugees of a catastrophe of your own design, one that you are intent to recreate here, on a planet which still bears the scars of the last time it was used carelessly. So we ask, what are we to do with you? Screw you, we'll do what we want. You're right to destroy us. Humans can change. Help us. Just a kid, I can't answer this. The fact of... Okay, humans can change. And the first group of people to arrive here showed that they can be different from humans on Earth in the way that they work as a society. Can we change in how we treat the planet? Who freaking knows? But we have the capacity of change. It just will not happen overnight. It will not happen quickly. It will take millennia. And that is if there is an outside, an external force, like the gardeners, like this overseer, to force us to change and to hold us accountable to that change. Because humans, we cannot hold ourselves accountable to change. We will always default back into what we are comfortable with or what brings us some semblance of safety, whether that's true or not. History repeats itself constantly with humanity. Clearly not just humanity, as the convergent domain did the same crap. But history always repeats itself for sure with humanity. We will always destroy and overuse. But I do believe that if an external force can keep us accountable to that we can change. Not the Helios squad of humans, okay? Not them. They are why history repeats itself. Those kind of people. People from the Strato, they're different from the Helios people. They raised people differently. They do everything differently. They have the capacity of change. Not everyone does. Some people do. Not everyone. But we're going to say that we can. So we teach your kind to be stewards of nature, the Overseer replies. Perhaps your children take up the mantle as well, and their children. But soon you are dead, as are your children's children. Generations pass. No one alive remembers the time the gardeners came to the humans and taught them the proper ways to live. And now there are too many of you to teach, and your behavior too entrenched. What then? Genocide? Have no answer. There is silence in your head, and you only hear the sound of water trickling down the cave walls and the gentle hum of the machines. Eventually, the Overseer speaks in your mind one last time. For now, you may leave freely. We will consider this quandary, and we will be monitoring you and the other humans. Meeting the Overseer. You feel a strange pull at your consciousness as you remove your hands from the interface. And there you have it, Sim murmurs. That is my boss. Your boss needs to get out more. Terrified. I want to say this. Sim huffs, like he's afraid to laugh. He walks over and runs his hands over the console. And now, you know how to connect to the array, he says quietly. But you should not come here unless I am with you. Sim takes your hands and looks at you solemnly. You interface with the array. You hold everything we are in your hands. It took a great deal of negotiating to convince my fellow gardeners to trust you with this power. Please, do not prove this trust mistaken. I learned Sim's augment. Hold on, Sim, I see that you need to talk to me yet again. Bro, my friendship with him is already 100. Oh, well, I forgot that it actually takes absolutely nothing to get him there, because I got that a while ago. Just totally forgot. You're sure this man who appears you need him most? AI construct. Okay. That's what it is. Sim nods as you approach. Just the human I wanted to see, he says with a solemn smile. The Overseer would like to speak to you again. We just had this conversation. I mean, I know that realistically all of this stuff happens over the course of a month. We literally just had this conversation. Sim leads you to the same cave as before. Nothing has changed, and you get the impression that nothing much does change here. You place your hands on the handle of the array, and wait. Before I say anything, as the overseer, I need to take a drink. Alright. Water is dripping on me. Fun. It's fine. It's fine. His hands are soaking wet now. Oh goodness, it's actually on my blanket. It's fine. We have thought over our conversation. You feel the overseer in your mind. We consider that symbiosis may be corrupt and in need of reabsorption, but his affection for your species is genuine. So, we have an offer to make you. Humans wield godlike powers, lack the capacity to understand the consequences of their actions. The overseer explains, you have no connection to the land you claim beyond the short, brutal window of your own consciousness. Our offer is this. We will not eradicate your colony. Instead, you will be tended to, just as the gardeners tend to the rest of the planet. You will be given fresh water, clean air, and good soil, and be protected from outside harm. In exchange, humans will stay within their colony and limit their population growth so as to maintain the balance within the habitat. You will not leave this territory to procure more resources. You will cease all hunting, lodging, and expansion outside of your valley. Realize I'm just a kid. I am just a kid, but I'm 19, so kind of not really a kid by certain standards. What, like a human nature reserve? More or less, the overseer responds. You are a curiosity to us, as well as a sentient species. We would like to preserve you without endangering the ecological balance of the planet. Now, you will go and convince the others of your species to agree to our compromise. I don't see an issue with this, honestly, but I do see how they will have an issue with this. So, I'm not going to straight up tell him I refuse, but I wish I could tell him that it would be a struggle. I'll try my best. My best might not be great, but I'll try my best. You say you don't know if there is any way to convince the Governor Lum to agree to this. I don't think Lum will agree at all. I don't think I can. I don't even think with max persuasion I'd be able to convince this man, let alone the fact that persuasion is my literal worst skill. But I don't even think with max I'd be able to agree. Gotta be honest. The overseer seems to accept this. I love that he accepts that not all people can be reasoned with. An envoy will visit in glow season to discuss it formally, it replies. To be clear, an armed envoy. We suggest making yourselves look non-threatening by them. Sim gives you a slight smile. It seems that it went well, he says. I fought hard for them to consider options other than eradication. I'm glad that my trust in you was correct. Sim's curiosity unlocks Sim on the main menu. That was easy to do. As Sim leads you back to the surface, you quietly wonder at him. This man, or rather, this ancient artificial intelligence resembling a man, has pushed his directives to the limit to help humanity. His interest started with mere curiosity, but over time he's come to love humans and value your survival. Has he made a mistake? Sim's curiosity 3. Plus 10 if this is the only mental card. So he's a literal AI. Interesting. Okay, let's do this now that we're done with all that array stuff. Yes, the favorite spot. I love that I only know how to find it last time, so we're gonna do It's Thrilling to Get Here this time. Card gets plus 2. Well, what if we do that and put all the other 3s? Get a nice solid 20. It's not bad. My card's gonna get plus 2 regardless. Put. So what if we do that, and then do a 3 there? Best thing I could do is another 4. I don't have good numbers going up. Oh wait, I can make that a 5. It's not bad. Because I mean that's a 4, so it's kind of annoying and in the way. But whatever. Actually, hold on 2 seconds. Oh no, it's a +6. So that would ruin it either way. We'll do it this way. That's a good 17. It's fine. I'm just gonna toss all the big boy numbers up. I know that's gonna give me stress. But we're putting the big boy numbers up anyways. So literally exact goal. That's fine. I'm not here to do the absolute craziness, you know. Need 5 more bravery. You have to cross a fallen log over a deep ravine to get there. Today you make it across, controlling your fear and walking steadily without shaking. There it is. You arrive at an orchard of bobber fruit. The sweet, citrusy smell wafts from the red fruit as if it bounces enticingly up and down at the end of long branches. Or as it bounces. It says from the red fruit. This is clearly not a red fruit. Just saying. You check carefully for animals. You've seen a territorial bush bub here before, but it looks like the coast is clear. You can pick and eat at your leisure. Keep exploring? Why wouldn't I? Stop for lunch. Oh, I have the option to pick all the seeds up. Munch away, spitting out the seeds, pick all the seeds up. You stop yourself in mid-spit, remembering Sim's warning about invasive species. Nice. I can be mindful. Regular mound of dirt. Just gonna avoid it. I don't really get anything out of it. I've done the others, so. Plants grow fast during pollen. They've choked the path here, and you can't see an obvious way around. Push my way through the plants. Even though I don't really need to. So probably shouldn't have. But it's okay. It happens. Card becomes 3. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This is an unchangeable card. Did I really need to do that? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. I just thought it would be funny. So. I hate that that is 3, though. Because that's a pretty annoying spot. For it to be 3. Sorry. Card to right becomes 5. Nice. It's just working around it like, no, it's not gonna be 3. All strength cards under 5 become 5. Nice. Because it's gonna set it to 3 anyways, so if we do it this way, it sets it to 5. And that's a nice solid 12. Like, an enemy over here doing 12 out of the 22 goal. All on her own. Gorgeous. This is the highest value. It's not, but it's okay. We went 11 over the super goal. Nice. I can't get any more perception. But I got another getting lost in the fog. As if I really need +3s. Or 3s at this point. Hop by. What's its deal? I know what its deal is. It's protecting little babies. Put that in the last one. And do a couple 4s. That's fine with me, honestly. +6 if card to right is that. +6 if card to right is that. That's actually kind of funny that I have both of those. So let's see, we've got an 8 going on here, a 7, a 6. Ooh. 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 Hold on. Hold on. Let's do it this way. It's a good solid 15. Sim's curiosity over there, 15. I got some more kudos. Look at that. I can't really get anything else. So I suppose I didn't really need to level up my toughness. It's okay though. The stream, we're gonna jump across the stream. Because card becomes 3. Set neighbors to this value. Raining bouncing weasels. That's actually kind of funny. Oh, sorry, not you. This one. Set neighbors to this value. Yeah, because I don't really want the ones. Let's see. +6 if that card. We'll do it that way. This becomes 3 regardless. Let's just do 3 right there instead. A 3 and then a 2. Why not? Right? Why not? It's a good 21. Oh my goodness, now I need a 29. We can do the stress thing there. That's fine. You were gonna be 3 regardless. Cool. Look at that. Bunch of 8s. And some 6s, but a bunch of 8s mostly. Super goal is 40. Blew that out of the water. I got 3 stars on something. Nice. My bravery is almost 100. We're almost there. You bravely fall in and get wet. Fall into the other side, soaked but victorious. Let's keep going. Farmland. We're just going to ignore the farmland. It's not like I can grow anything. The muck hides interesting bugs and other treasure for those willing to put their hand on the right holes. Are you? Peek inside the hole. Looks dark. Look closer. You stuck your hands down enough holes to know. This one's probably safe. Can't hear anything rustling around in there. Put your hand in there. Sweet, literally. The hole is full of sugar bugs. These palm-sized balls of squish exude a sweet syrup when you tickle them. You fill a bottle with it, then let them go again. Should be worth a few kudos to Auntie Anne within the kitchen. See, last time I did that, which was many in-game years ago, I was like, no, I don't want to put my hand in that hole. But it's funny because I was literally out here for the bravery, and I was like, no, I do not wish to be a brave soul today. Oh, I guess I've done everything. I guess there isn't multiple paths, it just kind of loops over there. I don't know why I backtracked then. I'm used to the other one, to be honest. I'm used to when I snuck out of the thing. Let's just go home. I only had 5 more anyways, and while I could have gone to Sim to relax for 5, I would just relax for the next month anyways, so doesn't matter. My bravery maxed out! And now it's late pollen. Mid pollen was somebody's birthday. I thought maybe. No, base is mid wet. Nami's mid dust. No, mid pollen isn't anybody's. Okay, I was right that it was nobody's. Late pollen would be Tammy's. New perk. Extra card draw. Nice, I'll have so many cards. This. Oh, it's because our friendship is 100. You can't find discs outside the walls, even though the duty roster has him working on the expedition vehicles today. After asking around, one of his crewmates points you to where she'd seen him disappear to the forest just 10 minutes ago. You thank her and set off into the wilderness. You've picked up a few things about tracking after hanging out with Dis for so long, so you follow his trail into the nearby lushwood forest until you hear him, speaking calm and slow. Shh, it's gonna be okay. Just let me help you. You follow his voice to find him kneeling on the ground next to a wounded Hopeye. The scent of blood and animal fear colors the air. Dis's knife glints as he pulls it from his sheath. Don't worry, he says to the creature. I've got you. Won't hurt anymore. You'll soon. A branch snaps under your foot, and Dis's head jerks up. His eyes go wide. He doesn't greet you. Instead, he gestures for you to get a closer look at the Hopeye. Its single leg is mangled beyond recognition from a hunter's snap trap, and it's bleeding heavily. It can only stare up at Dis, effete in its 4 eyes. It struggles once more, then goes still from the exertion, wheezing miserably. They tell everyone they're humane traps, Dis murmurs. But humans lie, don't they? They lie all the time. Hunters won't be back to check the traps until tomorrow. Dis continues, looking down at the Hopeye with a grim expression. I have to put it out of its misery. It's the kindest thing you could do. Dis nods once and steels himself. With a clean cut, he slices through the neck of the Hopeye. It tenses, twitching in fear reflex, then goes limp in his arms. Dis is quiet at your side for a long time, breathing evenly in through his nose and out through his mouth, like he's meditating. It's better to die quickly than to suffer in a trap. There shouldn't have been a trap in the first place, he says eventually, clicks his tongue against his teeth. It's pointless. I was going to die eventually, but not here. It's not natural. It's not the death part that bothers me. It's our vanity. Humans are so afraid of extinction that they'll kill indiscriminately to avoid it. So true, Dis, and I've never seen it worded like that. And I love it so much. Humans are so afraid of extinction that they'll kill indiscriminately to avoid it. Dis takes out a cloth and wipes the Hopeye's blood off his blade, his movements slow and reverent. I used to let it control me, too. I thought dying meant that living was pointless. He did say that. Continues. But now I know the truth. Life is short and brutal and hard. It's up to us to fill it with as many experiences as we can. We're going to spend our lives cooped up in the colony, subjugating nature because it strikes fear into our animal brains. He smiles, faintly. Or are we going to get out there and live the only life we've been given? He looks down at the corpse of the Hopeye and lays his hand gently against its head. We're all going to end up like this in the end. There's no use denying it, letting the fear of it control our actions. Never thought about it like that. Isn't it obvious? Dis asks, looking up at you. It's not like I'm out there throwing myself off cliffs, but it's not something I let control me. He smiles, genuinely. And because I don't fear death, I do so much more living. You should try it sometime. Dis lifts the Hopeye's body into his arms and rises to his feet. The smell of death will attract animals right into the other traps, he says. I'm not taking it back to the colony to be stuffed into a recycler. We have to take it into the woods, give it back to nature. You and Dis walk further into the forest in respectful silence, Dis cradling the dead Hopeye against his chest. Eventually, he tells you to wait while he finds the tracks of a predator and lays it down nearby. An offering the forest accepts without acknowledgement. He returns to you, blood-stained and solemn. It's done, he says. You begin to walk back to the colony, though it's clear Dis is taking his time. After a few minutes of walking, he turns to you and grabs your arm, forcing you to stop and look at him. Solana, he says, his eyes burning. Promise you won't let me end up like that Hopeye. At your questioning look, he squeezes your arm to the point that it almost hurts. I'm trapped here. Just let me go, okay? I promise. Dis breathes a sigh of relief. Thank you, Solana. He stares at you for a few unnerving seconds, perfectly still, before jerking into motion and fishing a pendant necklace from his clothes. He unclasps it from his neck and holds it out to you. Here, he says. You should have this. I want you to have it. Dis's secret. Unlock Dis on the main menu. You turn and let him put it around your neck. The pendant is large, but surprisingly light. You recognize it as a fragment of a unisaur horn, its pearlescent color shimmering in the light. This is secret. This is your secret 3, +5 in the first lesbian. I'm not gonna say I can't wear it. Thank you. It's beautiful. I didn't make it, Dis replies. The unisaur did. I just put it on a cord. But thank you. Dis regards you with a serious expression. You're the only person in this colony that I've ever really cared about, he says. I don't know why you bothered trying to be my friend when I was trying to push everyone away. His mouth bends in a shy little smile. Thank you for sticking with it, he says softly. You don't know how much I appreciate having a friend here. He steps away and looks down at the ground, suddenly evasive. Listen, I don't know how much longer I have left here, he says softly. I just want you to know that I want to spend the time I do have with you. Aww. I want to spend time with you too, Dis. He's my best friend, honestly. Like, him and an enemy. I wasn't expecting to have such a heartfelt moment, honestly, with Dis. Out in the wilds, him soaked in blood. Like, I expect heartfelt moments from everybody. They're They're romanceable, right? You gotta have heartfelt moments. I wasn't expecting it outside in the woods. Him soaked in blood. Need a rest. And you know what? We're still gonna rest on the walls. Because I don't think I can have my date with Nem yet. So, relax on the walls. I suppose I technically could have spent the month doing something else. And then relaxed, but it's okay. Yeah, the view is nice, except for all the destruction we have caused. We're just gonna be done. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all these memories. It's fine. I'm not really trying to narrow down my deck into anything specific. So, let's see. We've got our girl Nem, and then Nami, and then Cal. Yes, beautiful. Nem. Nem, usually serious. Or I really should say Nems. Nem's usually serious face brightens when she sees you. Solana, what a treat, she says, giving you a brief kiss. I was just thinking about you. I got something for you. I know you like the Xeno eggs, so... Cool things, Nem says, taking the egg. I guess it is my birthday this week. I kind of forgot. You always forget. You always forget, babe. Always forget. It's fine, though. I don't forget. I don't forget my girl names. Dang. Let's, you know what? Let's do some biology stuff. Do I get that from Xenobotany? Ooh, we get a little bit of organizing, too. Not that I think that really matters. But we can get a little bit more friendship with Cal, because me and Des have been there 100. And Cal's the other one. Sim, too. I wonder if there's an achievement getting 5 people to 100. I say that as if I have the time to get 5 people to 100. It's fine, no. Research Xenobotany. Surveyor Tonin found blep grass shortly after the colony landed on Vertumna. The waxy violet grass grows almost everywhere near the colony, and when you steep its roots, you get a deep purple tea. It tastes horrible, grassy and bitter, but it's a stimulant and mildly hallucinogenic, so the adults think it's great. They've been drinking it for years with no ill effects except for an overwhelming urge to stick your tongue out and say bleh when you taste it. Mentioning Surveyor Tonin is rough, just like every time I mention Tammy. You've been trying to cultivate new variants that don't taste as awful or have more potent stimulant or hallucinogenic properties. Maybe you'll even find some entirely new medicinal usage. You're ready to test a new strain. Tangent would probably appreciate a better stimulant, and Cal would appreciate a nicer trip. Who will be your test subject? Jesse and humans, neighbors become brain or mental card. Same thing with Cal. That's funny that it is the one for. It looks like it's Tangent in the blep tea. Try it on yourself, potent brew. Well, that 6 is very nice. I am here to try to get more friendship with Cal. Same time, Tangent would be the only other person I could even potentially get more friendship on. Oh, I didn't realize this changed over here. You're 19 years old and could spot a dwarf's mouth from a click away. That's not what changed. Nothing can scare you, or at least you deal with your fear better than most. It's the high bravery. And you're a tough kid. I guess that's for having all of this up, really toughness up. Well, that's interesting. Okay. We'll do Cal just because we're trying to get better friendship with Cal anyways. So, you bring Cal a cup of freshly brewed blep tea and tell him to give it a try. He grimaces at the taste, but he drinks the whole thing. He's a strong one, that Cal. You arrange to do this test at the end of Cal's workday, just in case it really knocks him out. After a while, you ask him to report on how he feels. Cal blinks at you lazily. Oh, hey, Solana, he says, as if just noticing you're still here. He's been in deep philosophical conversation with a bobber plant for the last few hours, delighted when it bobs up and down like it's agreeing with him. The high is really pleasant, he says, surfing his hand through the slight breeze. I don't think I like the, my heart feels funny. Like it's beating too fast, then it just stops. And where it doesn't want to start again, then it goes thump, thump really hard when it starts up again, you know? Sounds like Cal is experiencing some pretty common palpitation symptoms. You tell Cal the strain must be too strong, but he disagrees. No, it's fine, he says. It's just a little weird at first. If I know everything's gonna be fine, it won't bother me as much. The next time, it'll be totally chill. Sure, man, go nuts. No, do you see that? Sure, man, go nuts. Next time? Well, sure, you're just gonna toss the rest of this strain anyways. But if Cal wants to have a real deep relax with it, no harm there. How funny. How funny. Let's see. Let's just smack up all the big numbers. I don't want to do that 5. We'll do this 5. That way I can just do this here. Why not, right? The goal is 42, and I got exactly 42. You know, we're going with it. We're not going to try to finagle it, however. 5 biology. Whew, that's nice. If only I could get all those bonuses to have a headship. It's only 93. It's okay, though. Plus 3 organizing. Organizing should slowly get there. Oh, right. Alright. Governor Lum enters the colony square to his customary bombastic fanfare. Brass band, red carpet, banners with the Heliopause logo snapping in the hot dust breeze. It's disgusting. The governor gets his usual lethe of the applause from the die-hard soldiers, but it's obvious how tired and fearful everyone has become in service to his war. You catch Mars's attention, and she rolls her eyes and makes a gagging motion. Cal looks sullen and withdrawn, refusing, along with the rest of Geoponics, to give Lum any applause. The governor raises his hands for silence, though it's largely unnecessary. Alright, once again I need a drink before I do this, so. Pioneers of Vertumna, he begins. We stand here today, not shivering and quaking in fear, but with our hands around the neck, he makes a ringing gesture, of the planet herself. And that's why we hate you. Before he can continue, Mars leaps from her seat and runs to the front of the stage. A ripple of fear goes through the crowd. You all remember what happened to Utopia last year. It doesn't have to be like this, she cries, speaking to the crowd. We don't have to listen to him. He's just a bully with a gun, like the ones we left behind on Earth. Watching horror, watching delight. Can it be delightful horror? Because I'm afraid for Mars, but I love that she's standing up. We're watching delight. I don't think it really matters what I choose, so. She turns to the council. Why are you just sitting there? Come on, aren't you going to do anything? The council look at each other. Rhett seems unmoved, and Utopia shrinks into herself, holding her hand to her chest. Aunt Anne looks concerned but fearful of Lum. Instance is grim, and Squee just waits to see what happens. Only your dad looks enthusiastic, but he's no politician. He just keeps quiet. He keeps quiet. Lum gestures sharply to his guards, and Mars is seized and taken out of sight. In the uncomfortable silence that follows, the governor strides to the front of the stage and looks down on the crowd. As I was saying, you can trust me to lead this colony and humanity into a new era, he says, an era of peace and prosperity, where we no longer need to fear the creatures that come out in the night. He raises his fist to the sky. This planet is rich, he cries. It is the Earth we were promised, unscarred by the mistakes of our forefathers. Here we will become what humanity has always striven to become, caretakers of a new garden, children of a new Earth. Stop calling this Earth, bro. We left Earth. It's not Earth. Quit it. And you're not a caretaker of a garden if you're going out and murdering the animals in the garden. People cheer, spurred on by Lum's display of dominance. Lum looks upon the crowd with pride. Pioneers, we're so close, he says. Soon this planet will be ours, and all her riches and wonders with it. But first, He continues, we need to adapt to the harsh realities of our current world. He gestures to the council. I know you all love your council, but it's time we thought about the future. We need to guard the colony leadership, he says with some disdain. Guard the colony leadership? You mean guard you and your ideals against sudden upheavals, deaths, imprisonments, and the like. I've decided to instate a second position for each seat on the council, he announces. Lum explains that every council member will take an official second in command. Seconds will be trained in the running of the department and will be ready to take over the department should the worst happen during an attack. The council looks concerned. Is this how Lum begins to cycle out to the colonial government? With a veneer of legitimacy? Applicants must have spent a minimum amount of time in that department and will be judged by the council based on their relevant skills, though Lum will likely argue hard for his Helio appointees. You scribble your name on the ballot for... Know that I can't put 2 of them, but I can put the rest. I cannot put second administrator or second steward, but I can put second security officer, second engineer, second cultivator, and second surveyor. I'm so surprised I can even do engineer. Engineering's not that great. Cultivator makes sense because of biology. Security officer makes sense because of, well, everything in my physical being maxed out. And then surveyor because of probably bravery and the fact that I keep going out there. So it's second surveyor. Utopia is a little guarded as you enter your name for consideration. Just as long as one of us. And now one of Lum's lackeys. She says quietly, I can't trust one of them to have my back when I'm out in the wilderness. She shoots an acidic look at Rhett, who's looking chummy with the Helio soldiers. You win. You're second surveyor now. Nice. I got a little card for it. +2 skill on the challenge wins. That's cool. I love that because that totally helps me. Utopia breathes a sigh of relief and gives you a hug. I'm happy it was you, Sweets, she said. If something happened to me out there, I know the colony's going to be in my fine hands. Yeah. When the voting is concluded, Squee announces the names of those newly appointed seconds. The crowd cheers for you and Squee reads out your name as second surveyor. You don't recognize the Helio appointed to second administrator. Must be one of Lum's people. Nem is appointed as second security officer under Rhett. She looks green with nerves. I believe in her, though. I believe in my girl Nem. She can do it. Tangent stands proudly in her rightful place as Chief Engineer Instance side as her second. Cal is chosen to be second cultivator. He looks a little overwhelmed. Your dad must have put his name in. Probably did. So far, it seems mostly us. So, the steward of the Heliopause joins Aunt Anne as her much-needed second steward. There's a lot of babies in the colony now, and someone has to help take care of them. That's fair. I did forget that people could apply to have kids a couple years back or whatever. So, 2 from the Helios. The rest are from Stratos. Nice. After the politicking is over... Politicking? Wow, I can read. After the politicking is over, the crowd adjourns to the feast tables and, eventually, the dance floor. The sun's set on the long day, the heat breaks, and the party continues well into the night. After the festivities, it's straight back to work as usual. Everyone complains. You usually get at least a few days off after Vertumnilia. But Lum reminds the colony that it's only a few short months before the next attack. Your dreams begin to increase in intensity as the wormhole draws closer to the planet, filled with terrifying and confusing visions. A feeling of urgency dogs your steps, like you're running out of time. I am running out of time. It's terrifying, but I am. I ran right into the Helios there. I need to give Nami their birthday gift. Nami's looking up at the sky with a slight smile. It's been 4 years and it's still so cool, they comment. I spent my whole life on a spaceship before this. Being outside still feels like a paradise, even with everything going on. What does Nami like? Crystal clusters. Yeah, that seems right. I've got a bajillion, so happy birthday to me. I can't believe I remembered. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, biology is already almost max, so we're just gonna go ahead and bump that up real quick. So, nice. We'll just research the botany. Your dad has an interesting sample he wants you to study today. So, kiddo, I'm cultivating something, he says. He shows you a plant with thick purple stalks and pairs of tiny heart-shaped leaves. Oh, that's cute. It's called dizzyweed. We said something like it back on Earth. He continues. Makes you feel relaxed and silly, kind of like blep tea, but without the buzz. We're gonna study it together. He looks at the sample. Pretty sure we can find a medicinal use for it. You have drugs. Yep, no problem. Wait, I thought this was cows. I feel like I shouldn't call him out on that. Yeah, no problem. Play it cool. Your dad just shared that he's a big ol' stoner. Did he have to stop when he left Earth? Wild. That's so funny. Stoners over here in geoponics. No judgment, just saying. I mean, that's the best place to be, I guess. You literally grow it. Your dad smiles. Okay, take a look at the sample and let me know what you find. Responsibly study it with machines. Refuse to study or ask your dad how to use it. Dizzyweed. Ask my dad how to use it. You correctly assume your dad will be cool with you getting some hands-on experience with dizzyweed. He explains how to chew the stem to ingest the funky-tasting juices and warns you to spit them out after, or else it'll make you feel queasy. You do as he says, and within a few minutes, you feel a head rush that makes you so dizzy you need to lay your head down on the research bench. Hence the name, you guess. Your dad chuckles and rubs your back. Don't worry, this part is over fast, he says soothingly. Ugh. Oh goodness, it's so blurry and bright. But am I relaxed? You relax and let the dizzyweed take you wherever it's gonna go. The dizziness does wear off within a few minutes, leaving you feeling pleasantly floaty? Wow, yeah, this is nice. Like everything is just a little softer, radiating gentle patterns when you turn your head. Your dad likes to chatter as he works, and you find yourself giggling at him more often. He's so funny, and so nice. It's really cool that he's so cool with showing you this. You look cool, Dad. Cool. I'm not seeing these, gentle patterns. I'm just seeing the brightness, but that's okay. After a while, the high wears off and you feel a little more corporeal. While you were circumnavigating the wormhole, Congruence helpfully crunched a few numbers and provides you with a report on the plant's chemical composition. What do you think? Does this have medicinal properties? Yeah, it says so right here. Nice. Congruence's report indicates that dizzyweed is more than just a fun diversion with some pain-killing properties. At high enough concentration, it can actually fight off bacterial infection. Neat. Your dad is proud of your work in the field of pharmaceutical science. He floats you a few kudos and warns you definitely not to ingest the concentrate. Okay, I won't. I'll do exactly as you say, Dad, and I will not ingest the concentrate. Because why would I do something like that, you know? Especially when he says not to. I don't have a means of having a 5. Oh, actually? I do. I lied. I don't have a means of having a 7, but I have my Super Bowl dead on, and that's good enough. I mean, I do have a means of having a 7, but like, then I wouldn't have a 5. I'm trying to get up. Biology's maxed out. Nice. I reached my personal goal of having 1 maxed out in every category, as well as having all the physicals maxed out. Enhance your DNA and engineering. Hold the phone. Hold the phone, alright? Do I know why I'm saying that? Because I haven't heard that in a freaking long time. No, But I think it's kind of funny to bring that back, so I haven't said it ever, pretty much. Hold the phone. Tinker with your DNA. Of all the people in the colony, you understand genetics the best. Besides Dr. Instance, probably. She trusts you to attend to the gene tech machine. With access to a machine like this, you could give yourself a new genetic enhancement. Sure, you probably shouldn't mess with your genome too much in vivo, but one little change couldn't hurt. No one answers that. Of course I want to. You decide to install the enhancement. Extra fingers. There will also be extra fingers too. That's kind of creepy. Absorbent brain. 2. This is all the 2, because I guess I could have gotten all this at the beginning. All these would have been good to know beforehand. Super strength. +2 for every other. Honestly. Calm temperament 2. That's just a minus stress when I get that card. I think a calm temperament is nice, but like if I'm just getting these cards, probably then I don't feel like that helped. This would have been so much more useful earlier in the game, and I guess I'll have to keep that in mind for another playthrough. You know what? We already went the physical route. Why not we do this? It's a lazy people's dream. Eat whatever you want, don't exercise at all, and still look like you spent all day in the gym. It's a tricky process, much more complicated than modifying the malleable stem cells of an embryo. You wouldn't risk doing it again, but this time it works out. Dr. Instance knows what you've done, but you take her silence as tactic approval of your risky experiment. Neat. Does that show up in my own augmentation? Oh hey look, this actually changed here. You built muscle mass, like, okay. Second surveyor, her 19 years old and can spot a dwarf's mouth from a click away. You build muscle mass like nobody's business. Nothing can scare you, or at least you deal with your fears better than most. And you've got a green thumb. Except for having biology up. That is on, oh, I'm missing 2 people. Auntie Tira, is this? Oh, Cal's mom, a life support engineer. Nougat. Look at her growing up so much. I'm missing 2 apparently. That's fine though. That is super funny. I am now buff. I am a buff. Wait. Okay. We are rested up and ready to go. And I've maxed that out. Honestly, I could just sit here and try to max other things out, but I don't know. 1 collectible. I missed a collectible. Wild. Events respawning quiet. 3 events remaining, 1 collectible. I don't want to go all the way out there just for that. I haven't surveyed the plains in a long time. I get literally nothing from foraging in the valley because I don't even get biology. I should have done that last. I don't get any bravery either. Perception. I don't get any animals. I could still get engineering, not that I have a reason to go out to survey the ridge right now. I can't even get animals from combat. Literally the only one I gain benefit is surveying the ridge to get that plus 2 engineering. Other than that, I've got literally everything. This makes me great to be 2nd surveyor. So I'm honestly just kind of trying to pass the time. I'm just trying to get to the end here. So this is definitely normally a waste of time to do this. And I also should have tried to have a date with Nim. Too late for that. But it's fine. Flies here awful, laying the eggs. Ah, yes. The eye fly, be zen and let it be. Using this as strength to find a sense of peace deep down and just block out the incessant buzzing. Ooh, there's the last collectible. I couldn't see that from before, I guess. Particularly flat area, a large field of obsidian. Well, obsidian's the only word you have for it. It's more like a polished black opal, honestly. Carefully walk around the edges. I skated through it last time. Let's carefully walk around the edges this time. Oh, never mind. I guess I should have skated. It's okay. I had my option of like just relaxing or whatever, or studying it, and I studied it last time. The haze, the air squids, yeah, the rounds, why? Let's see if this is the highest value. It's not, though. It's really not. Let's just dump all of these here. Get a nice 32 out of the way. Meeting the overseer being right there's wild. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's at least a nice streak. I just have this, I have this. Boom. I hit my goal. I did it. I hit the super goal. I did it. Nice. That's actually really not that important to me. These are wild values. So what if we do it this way? Wild and wild. Because that's 6, 7, and now 8. Or 6, 7, 8. And 9. The super goal was 17, by the way. I really just blew that out of the water. Which I keep saying. Okay. I believe I've gotten everything that's here now. That was the 3 events. And the 1 collectible. So I kind of just... Oh, that leaves me right. I kind of want to see if Sim wants to talk. Or like if I can really do anything with Sim before I go. Just because I'm out here and I might as well check. But after we return home, Dust... Who was it? I didn't give Cal a present. No, I messed up. I'll still give him a present. It'll just be late. Okay. Sim does want to talk. Good thing I came over here. Didn't mess it up twice. You're trekking through the wilderness when something catches your eye. To anyone else, it'd simply be a weird depression between 2 rocks. But it pings something in your memory. Isn't that what the entrance to the Overseer's cave looked like? You decide to check it out. Your hunch is correct. The depression opens up into a passageway just big enough to wiggle your body through, then widens even more to reveal a familiar door. You gently push it open. The room you enter is not unlike the one where you interfaced with the array. There is a vat in the corner emitting a soft organic glow, and another computer panel slowly being reclaimed by the rock wall. It's not hard to assume the planet is lousy with rooms just like this one. With it, Sim and other gardeners can rest and respawn if needed. This one, however, is not empty. You enter to find Sim, who is, aptly so, as naked as the day he was born. He is stepping out of the regeneration vat, clad only in strands of bioluminescent goo that slide down his long limbs and patter to the ground. This is essentially walking in on someone stepping out of the shower because of the fact that he's naked and soaked. I guess this is one of those moments where I can flirt with Nim or Sim. I bet after this. Sim's back is to you, treating you to a glimpse of skin usually hidden under layers of tattered dark fabric. The knobs of his spine and shoulder blades are visible under his inhumane musculature. I don't say that word often, clearly. He looks unusually delicate and vulnerable. So would anybody who's naked. He reaches up and gently wrings out his thick hair, humming a song you recognize from the Hollow archives. As if sensing the weight of your gaze on his body, he pauses and slowly turns his head. Solana, he says softly, I didn't see you come in. You're naked. Sorry to bother you. I can see you very well, though. Yep, like I said, I'm just with Sim. Sorry to bother you. It's no bother, Sim replies, looking down at himself, if it does not bother you. Now that you know the truth about the gardeners, Sim continues, we can be far more free with our words. He gestures to the regeneration vat. I have very few secrets from you now. You can come take a closer look, if you'd like. After a beat, he clarifies. A closer look at the vat, I mean. You walk over and check out the vat. The air gets noticeably warmer the closer you get, like sunlight on your face, and there's a faint organic smell that's not unpleasant. But not pleasant, I guess. The vat itself looks like something you'd find in engineering, but seems to be constructed entirely out of natural materials. Spongy-like fungal growths, mineral deposits, and pulsating vine-like umbilicals. You can touch it, Sim says. It's not dangerous. You sit on the lip of the vat and run your fingertips across the surface of the glowing liquid. A slight electric charge prickles up your forearms, and you feel a frisson of a link to the array. Sim sits down beside you, now fully dressed, his fingers alight on the surface of the liquid as well, and you feel a slight presence at the end of your mind, like a thought you can't reach. Presence at the edge of your mind. I don't know what I said. I'm glad we can talk freely now, he says. Is there anything you wish to know about me? Or the gardeners? Dying and being reborn. What's that like? Reborn isn't the right word, Sim answers. It's more like reopening a program after a system crash. Everything is still there, perfectly preserved, except for whatever I added since the last time I saved my work. Functionally, it feels more like teleportation. As for dying, Sim continues, frowning a little as he considers the thought. Well, I'm certain that dying can be extremely painful, depending on the death, I assume. He touches his chest. I have no memory of the moment of death, though I have died many, many times, he says. In that, we are the same. Does the system remember when it crashes? Tell me more about the gardeners. Sim sighs. Compared to the gardeners, humanity is short-sighted. You're often unable to conceptualize present or future beyond your own lives or those of your direct descendants. Gardeners think on a much larger scale. I once spent 400 years as a mush tree just to avoid talking to a gardener whose method I disagreed with. He smiles. Juvenile, I know, but when your memory spans tens of thousands of years, 400 years is trivial, and it has given me a true appreciation for all life, one that goes deeper than I can describe. When I tell you that the gardeners are Vertumna, I mean it quite literally. How many gardeners are there? Sim thinks for a few seconds. It's hard to say, he answers. There are theoretically an infinite number of instances of the, software that comprises a gardener. It's not uncommon for a particular instance, such as myself, to go dormant, possibly for thousands of years. He stretches out his fingers and looks at them, then at you. And many gardeners, such as the overseer, find they do not need to take physical form at all. There are only a handful like myself who do. How old are ye? That question has many answers, Sim replies, with a slight smile. This consciousness has ultimately been in existence for over 20,000 years, since the creation of the gardeners. But that means very little. I certainly don't have, 20,000 years experience as a bipedal anthropomorphic organic capable of speech. And this body, says, gesturing to himself, why, it is only minutes old. Do you like being a gardener? Does the wind like being wind? Sim answers. I'm sorry to be cryptic after I told you I would not, but there really is no other way to answer that question. I am what I was created to be, he continues. There is beauty in that, and a clarity of purpose that makes me feel fulfilled. I do not experience existential anguish like a human does. I freaking wish that I could not experience existential angst. I realized I said angst I said anguish instead of angst. I'm experiencing existential anguish at the fact that I can't seem to speak. What should we humans, do? If I knew the answer, I would tell you, Sim replies, placing his hand on top of yours. Pragmatically, I do agree with the other gardeners, he continues. If our purpose is to protect the biosphere of Vertumna, and humanity poses a threat to that, then by the letter of our own design, humanity must be eradicated. However, he sighs and looks away. I love humanity. I think you are all an incredible species, and it would be a shame to destroy you. I feel like doing so would be a violation of the spirit of the Convergent Domain's last decree. And, perhaps, he murmurs, redeeming you would be the greatest act of love we could perform in the name of our imperfect creators. Thanks. That's enough. Sim nods. Please know that you can come to me at any time, and I will do my best to answer, he says. However, I must apologize for something, Sim says abruptly. I simply must. May I touch you? At your questioning look, Sim blushes and turns his head away. This body is new, he murmurs. All of its senses are heightened. I confess, I find myself unable to stop myself from wondering what it would be like to touch another while I am vulnerable to sensation, like this. Another flirting moment. Please, touch me anyway. If I wasn't dating them, I do think dating Sim would be interesting. Though I think I would probably, if I wasn't dating them, I'd probably be dating, this, honestly. Though I'm sure there are endings where you don't date anybody, but I've got to see all the romances, you know? Saw this game, there's 29 endings. Lots of people that romance, and I gotta see it all. Not all at once, of course, because I've seen that the completionist stuff takes like over 100 hours. Which is insane, but believable with how long it's taking me to get through a single playthrough. Okay? Sim looks delighted as he reaches out and pets your hair, running his fingers through the fine strands. Marvelous, he says. Truly, a texture I have not been able to replicate with my own bodies. He runs his thumb over your eyebrows, then your cheekbone. His fingers dance down the bridge of your nose, then lightly into the dip of your philtrum? I don't know what that is. Across your lips to pause on your chin. Sim's gaze drops to your mouth as his own lips part with an unspoken question. If I can pull away, or I can also just say that I'm dating someone. Sorry, I can't. I'm dating someone. That implies that I want to. That implies that I want to. I wonder if they'll have the same result. Because naturally, if this was me, I would just pull away. But I am curious to see what he would say about dating. Because I don't think the gardeners have that as a concept. Like, obviously, he's seen media from Earth, so he would see dating. But they're just AI programs. Do they date? Do they understand? And that's what I want to know. But in reality, if this ever happened, like, you just don't say you're sorry that you're dating someone, or you can't, like, because you're dating someone. Just pull away because you're dating someone and you respect that someone. So you just pull away. So, Sim's eyes narrow in thought. Yes, that is a concern for certain humans, isn't it? He murmurs. I was not aware you felt the same. My apologies. Dating them. Alright, I date them. Obviously, some people in this that are like romanceable probably won't be, I said obviously as if I know, probably won't be like strictly monogamous. But I feel like Nem would be. Rex feels like one of those that probably wouldn't be like monogamous. I feel like he would not be, just because he seems like a partier, honestly. Not that partiers can't be monogamous, but with all the different things they've shown in this game, having all the relationships be not monogamous seems like something you wouldn't do, you know? So, he stands and takes a deep breath. I would like to go outside, he announces. Have you ever swam in the lake nearby? It's incredible, especially when my senses are heightened. I love the feel of the sun and water on my skin. He smiles down at you. You're welcome to join me, if you like. There's a nearby lake here. Where, Sim? Where? In his dry place. You find Sim on a cliff overlooking the colony. He looks so small from here, so vulnerable. Sim turns to you with a sad smile. Please tell me you've convinced the humans to accept the Overseer's offer, he says. I honestly haven't tried, but I don't think I'm gonna with that persuasion. With a whopping, 5 persuasion. I don't think I'm convincing anyone to do anything with that. So. Yeah. Sorry, is this not happening? Do I know what outcome this is gonna have? No. But I can attempt. Now that I actually remember that that's something I was supposed to be doing. So much has happened. So much happens. Let's head back. And maybe this time, remember that some convincing needs done. I am that gracer. Okay. Normally I don't go this way. I need to give Cal a late birthday present. Because my silliness forgot. Go home. Yeah, I know it'll end the month, which is a bummer, because again, I forgot to give Cal his birthday present. It's fine, I'll just give him a late one. It won't mean as much, I know, but... Really wet is Mars. Yep. Rex was early pollen. Nami was mid-dust. Base is mid-wet. We don't care about base, though. Okay, where is Cal? Because... I forgot. I'm so sorry, Cal. I should have done it before I left. But I did not. I found something you might like. What does he like? Auberfruit. Cool. I don't think I'm gonna get his friendship up. Purely because of that. So, because I know it gives 4 on the other thing. But, like... there's nothing else I can do with him. So... like... I don't know. Where do I even go to try to convince people? Oh. Just right here. I don't know what kind of consequences this is gonna have, because this is gonna prove that I have been in communication with the gardeners. I don't know. This is probably, hold on. Before I do this, this is the first time I've done this, where I'm gonna have a new save. Pre-convincing love. Maybe pre is before. We'll just use regular words. Before convincing. Before attempting to. I can't spell. Convince. I had it right, and I don't know why I deleted it. Before attempting to convince Lem. Nice. Okay. Good. Before attempting to convince L. That's great. I love that. He just is L now. Bring the Overseer's offer to Governor Lum. Although I can also just... don't even try. Governor Lum is staring into space, but snaps out of it as you enter the room. What is it, colonist? I'm not telling him about Sim. She's offered, don't even try to tell him. I feel like this will just have horrible consequences. But Sim really wants me to try. I just don't think I'm capable. And I told the Overseer I would try my best. Even though I don't think Lem will be convinced, so. Lum rolls his eyes. Solana, buddy? Don't call me buddy. Do not call me buddy. There is no sentient life on Vertemna. We're it. Whatever you've seen out there, it's not like us. That doesn't mean it's not sentient, Lum. We're the rightful rulers of this planet, he continues. Boo! No, we're not. I'm not gonna let some old garbage computer program stand between us and our destiny. He clenches his fist. We will find a way to destroy them. They're more dangerous than you think. Never doubt humanity's strength, Solana. He grins coldly. It's a good thing I'm the governor of this colony. Some coward like you of Stratos. If only the facial expressions I was making could be conveyed to my model right now. He dismisses you, but he might have a point. Deposing him as governor would solve a lot of problems. You know Mars would be on board. Ooh, nice. Deposing him as governor is an interesting thought. I can't just tell her about it, though. We'll click through this again. I think that's so funny. We'll just ignore this one. Oh no. I lost friendship with Mars. I only had 5 to be good with. Sorry, Mars. I can fix that. Maybe. Do I know anything that you like? I don't need dishes like these. What do you... Have I given her a crystal cluster yet? I know I didn't have a lot at the time, and I wasn't going to give them to her, but now I've got like a bajillion. So... She likes them. Mars laughs, taking the crystal and turning it over in her hands, inspecting it. Well, I'd had better birthday gifts this year, but I admit this crystal is pretty fabulous. I'll add it to my collection. Oh, I forgot it was her birthday. That's so funny. I did that just to bring back up the stuff that I just lost. But I guess it went up a little too. What do I have to do to depose Lum? Do I need more rebellion? I think 80 should be enough. It might not, though. Do I have to be full rebellion? How do I build rebellion? Not quickly, by any means. I know I can get it every Vertimilia by doing stuff, but there's no more Vertimilias. There's no more rebellion that I know how to get. How doth one be rebellious? Probably not with what I'm doing right now. Do I care enough? I do, because I feel like this is just online with everything I'm doing. I might as well do something else. Can I have another date? No. I guess I can't have any more dates. You know what? Is there anything I can do over here? I know I can go to the spa. Is it just relaxing? Yeah, it's just the spa and relaxing. I guess we go up to command, see what we can do. I haven't actually checked out what I can do in these places in a while. I can just deliver supplies. Sure, I guess. I haven't done that for freaking ever. You pass the construction yard on your way to pick a delivery at the depot. Rex waves you over. Oh, hey, Lennon. Hey, come take a look at this, he says, leading you over to where a portion of the heliosphere is being married to the old living quarters with a scaffolding of mushwood. Isn't this wild? It's like our two ships are actually becoming one. He throws his arm around your shoulder. It's like a metaphor. Get it? The colony and us from Helio learning how to work together. How we build our environment affects how we live, you know? You should come by and help me, he continues. It's really fun. You get to build things, and the construction crew is really nice. And you'd get to hang out with me. Wait, why not start right now? He hands you a plasma cutter, a gun-shaped tool that emits a thin beam of superheated plasma. No time like the present, right? Squee says we always need more workers here. But you have another job that you promised to do. I do have a job to do. Sorry. No, I wanted more rebelliousness. Hold on. That's what I have to do. Why are you talking to a femboy? I don't know. I was delivering supplies, and for some reason Rex is who decided to talk to me during that. But because of the fact that... actually, I don't want to put that one up there. I'm going to just go back on my save, probably, because, man, do I not want to have more loyalty. It was literally talking about how to try to be rebellious, and then I had built more loyalty up. So I'm going to go back. How do I load? Mid-wet, I don't care. New perk, cool. Equip an additional gear. I want to load before attempting to convince Lum. Yes. This is the first time I've ever gone back. Viva la Resistance. Yeah, I know I'm trying. You're gonna see why, because I have to do all this all over again. Tell him about the offer. There's no sentient life. There is sentient life. We're not the rightful rulers of this planet. Sorry, I read all this a moment ago. More dangerous than you think. And then I get the idea to overthrow him. Well, to depose him, I guess, is more accurate. And then I gave Mars a birthday present of crystals. Cool. So I guess going back to my save didn't change. The fact that I didn't know that. Rather owing clothes that show up. Okay. So this game has romanceable characters. Romanceable characters. This is who I'm dating. This is my girl Nem. Full name Anemone. But I love her. She's so cute and sweet. And there's Cal. Tangent. Their names also crack me up a bit too. This. Trying to say her full name is rough. She's cute. Who, Nem or Tangent? Nem is definitely cute. And then Mars here. Unfortunately, Tammy died as a little girl. Rex, which is the femboy I'm talking about. Nami. I just realized Nami doesn't have any heels on their shoes. Got real good toe strength, I guess. Vase. We don't like Vase. Nem Tangent is hot. Mars is okay, I guess. We don't like Vase. And that's fair. That's fair. And then Sim. He's actually a native on this planet. He's an AI construct. And then there's me. I don't get a nice pretty picture like that though. Alright. We're gonna go back to delivering supplies. I've technically already read all of this. And because I want resistance, I'm just gonna stop doing the job I'm doing. Actually, I don't know if I should say that we should just hang out. Because I feel like this is also still working hard. Just in a different... not for the job I was doing. Well, I didn't get loyalty out of that, so... It's fine. You help Rex hold up a part of the wall while he fixes a bracket in place. There is a lot of pounding and wiggling to get it to fit, which delights Rex every time he gets to make a joke about it. Of course. Of course. It's sweaty, rewarding work, and you learn something about engineering while you're at it. Chief Administrator Squee comes storming out of command to find you. Solana, they snap. Where have you been? I expected you hours ago. Sorry. Not really, though. Whoa, it's my bad. Rex says, moving to stand between you and Squee. I've been saying Squee this whole time. It's Seek, or whatever. If he had a tail, it would be between his legs. Perfect picture of an apologetic puppy. I asked her to help out. We're super short on hands around here, and she did a great job. Zeke grudgingly accepts that you did, in fact, do good work. They tell you that you're cleared to help out in construction if you'd like, snidely commenting that you're better suited for manual labor than the job you were actually supposed to do today. That's pretty rude, Zeke, but that's fine. We've never been on good terms anyways, I guess. I need 5. And of course I don't have 5. Why would I have a 5? When you need it. Whatever. More organizing. Friendship with Mars and Rex. Need it. New perk. Equip an additional gear. Cool, that's super useful for the last few months of my game. We'll put the hoplite there, I guess. Why not? By the way, I'm at the very end of this game, so I'm just trying to figure out how I want to spend my last few months. I still don't think I can have another date with Nem, unfortunately. Which is sad. Who doesn't go on a date with their partner every month? Apparently not me. You know, let's look at the new job, at least. Let's see what the new job would have given me. Work construction, 3 engineering, 2 toughness, and only friendship with Rex. I don't benefit from getting more toughness. I would just benefit from engineering. That's fine, let's go over here. Ooh! I didn't go get this popper fruit after I reset. Back we go. Do I need to go do the thing with Cal again? No. Okay. I don't think so. I don't think I can give Cal another gift. Maybe. Who knows? Mars's friendship is at 10 when I could have sworn it was at 5. That's fine though. Yeah, I can't give him a gift. Let's go to engineering, I guess. See what's there. What I can be. Study life sciences, engineering, humanities. I get more reasoning and empathy and friendship with Nami from this. We'll tutor some kids. Today you're tutoring Nugget and a couple younger kids in ancient Earth geography. Why do they need to learn ancient Earth geography? Didn't benefit me and I live here. They're learning the names of the countries by pointing to them on maps and saying a few facts about them. It seems kind of pointless to memorize places that these kids will never see. That's what I was just getting at. But it's not like you can teach them about Vertumnan geography yet. You're still discovering it. Billions of people? Nougat says, skeptically squinting at a hollow projection of Earth. How they fit everybody into one little planet? With all the trees and animals and stuff. Was it all like one big colony? Tell her the sad truth or lie, make it sound idyllic. Or dodge the question altogether. I don't know. This is why I don't want to be a parent. I wouldn't even know what to do. Sure, Lennon. Well, I'll have to make some food first. But, yeah. I don't work tomorrow, so. Should I lie to her or tell her the truth? Or just dodge the question? I'm decent with kids, but not about this. Because I feel like people should just know the truth, but she is also just a kid. I think I'll tell her the truth. You work tomorrow? What time? Because that makes a difference. Yes, I got more rebellion. You give Nugget the little kid version of the truth that you learned as a kid. You tell her life on Earth was brutal and hard. Humanity destroyed the environment and fought over what was left. There were no trees or animals left. Not as many as there should have been anyways. Or anyway, most people were poor, hungry, and sick. The ones who weren't kept all the nice things for themselves. At least your parents were lucky to escape on the stratospheric, and you were lucky to be born on it. You're all lucky to be here now. No matter what, at least Vertumna isn't Earth. As long as we can kick Lum out of the governor's seat, because he really seems to want it to just be Earth 2.0. Nugget looks bewildered. She doesn't really watch holovids, only the cheerful ones for kids that don't address Earth's decline. so she had no idea. But they still have really, really tall buildings, right? To fit all the people? She asks. You sigh and tell her they did, and she nods in satisfaction and goes back to her schoolwork. I did not lie to her. We're not really in a good situation to lie to children right now anyways, so why don't I make that one there? Because these are twos. Why am I doing the twos? 7, 6. We'll just leave that there. 5, 4, and 3. Boom. I hit my super goal. Not that really matters much to me. Nice. I got a new perk because I got reasoning up. Man, and even in this game, I'm not a social person. +1 the mental card's cool. Because I have so many more challenges to go, you know? Late wet. Why am I walking away from Tangent? I need to give her a gift. Tangent! I think I've come to truly love this planet, Tang says, looking up at the sky. Certainly, it's at times uncomfortable, or even dangerous, but she smiles faintly. I have such wonderful visions of what it could become. I have something for you. One of my few medicinal roots left. She says the same thing every year. Oh my goodness, she wants to talk to me. You spot Tang sitting on a large boulder outside the lab. She's eating a pressed soy bar ration with determination, alternating bites with huge gulps of water to wash it down as quickly as possible. What are you doing out here? She stops her grim work long enough to acknowledge her question. I hit the limit on the number of consecutive hours that allow me to work in the lab, she says, so I'm taking a break. She says, making air quotes around the sentence. Maybe they're right. Oh, I lost friendship. That's sad. She should take a break, though. Just because you don't need sleep, girl, doesn't mean that you don't need to take a break. Tang scowls and takes a huge bite of her protein bar, radiating defiance as she chews. They think they can just boss me around because I'm younger, she says, taking a huge swig of water. She scoffs. I'm smarter than any two of them combined. I mean, you are. Ugh. Tang groans and rubs her bloodshot eyes. It's trying to work, you know? It's so frustrating to be deep in the zone, and then like I'm just on the precipice of a discovery. Then someone tells me that apparently my genius is taking too long. I want them to treat me like I belong there, the way Dr. Instance does, Tang mutters. She actually respects me. They're just jealous that she likes me more. Tang slides off the boulder, and you see the color bleed from her face as she stumbles into you, nearly crumpling to the ground. Oh, she grits out, leaning over while the dizziness passes. Sorry, I just read what you said, Landon. And yeah, I don't disagree with you. I did not romance her in this playthrough. I did not. I will admit. I just romanced him. Thought the nutritional uptake of that bar would be quicker than a real meal, especially after taking into account time required to walk to the cafeteria. She trails off, realizing she's clutching your jacket, and pushes you away. My apologies, she says, brushing herself off. I am, regrettably, it seems, only human. Tang scrubs her hands over her face. Sometimes it feels like I'm a prisoner in my own body, like I can feel myself trapped in it. This stinking, sweating bag of meat and bad impulses, stuck with the burden of keeping it alive every day for the rest of my life, and her voice breaks. Say nothing. Just let her cry. Tang takes a few seconds to compose herself, blotting her eyes daintily with her knuckles. It's just this resentment for my physical form. It reminds me of when I was little, and an instance used the gene tech to give me this body, the right body. Only this body's wrong too, she adds quietly. It's right in a lot of ways, but it's still imperfect. It's still human. If I were an AI, everything would be more simple. I could just do my work. I could just do what I'm good at. No messy biological functions, no emotions, just clear and beautiful purpose. I hate this, Tang sniffles. I hate feeling like this. You and your brother happen to have that in common, Tang. Both of you wanting to be AI, I mean. Entirely different purposes, but I know that I can flirt with her. And what are you saying why to? About the fact that I did not romance the hot woman right here? I'm always here to listen, Tang. And look, I made back up the friendship I lost earlier. Tangent manages a watery smile as she wipes her eyes. Thanks, she says. I apologize for being all wet on you. It won't happen again. Why not romance the hot lady? Okay, it's because I ended up going down the physical route, as you can see on my skill tree over here. How I have all 4 of those maxed out. And Nem just was certainly the more logical choice for that, because I hung out with her a lot, building up these skills, so I got my friendship up with her a lot easier. So I was just going to romance Tang when I did a mental run, so I would max out all my mental skills. Because I will hang out with her a ton, and it will be a lot easier to do that. I've got no idea who I will romance when I do a social run, but man, I'm going to suck at doing the social run. Probably Mars, I think. She probably will hang out with the most. So. She wipes her eyes and straightens her jacket, then takes a deep breath and holds it for 10 seconds, her eyes closed. By the time she opens them again, she looks ready to go back to work as if nothing has happened. You admire Tangent's determination, but sometimes you think it might come at a price. It certainly does. It certainly does. Yeah, I'm going to have playthroughs probably, not on stream or anything, but on my own time, that I go through to try to get different endings, but I'll also romance different people. Just so I can see all the romances the game has to offer. Even though I will be honest, I am not going to enjoy doing this man's romance, because I hate this guy. I hate him with a passion. So he's going to be last, probably. Ah, Nami wishes to speak with me. Nami is camped out in the lounge. That's sure not where I just found them. Their holopad screen is spread out before them like a drawing table. On another screen, there's a collection of photos of a manticore. Nami looks between the 2 screens, their brow furrowed in concentration, as they scribble directly onto the screen with a stylus. What are you doing? Well, Nami replies, thoughtfully. I wanted to write an illustrated story about aliens, like in Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform, except using the Xenos here on Vertemna, like manticores and faceless and stuff, but they can talk, and instead of attacking the colony, they help people instead. Reading her stuff. It takes the wind out of me. Yeah, we hate Face. He's rude. He's mean, and he's toxic. He's mean to my girl, Nem. They were dating, and I broke them up. And then I started dating them. Because she needs a good person in her life. And not Face. That sounds cool, Nami. Thanks. Nami chirps, scribbling happily at their drawing. I got the idea from the second Turbo Hyperjet OVA, the one where the Medusa demons showed up. And the aliens and the Turbo Girls have to band together to defeat their common enemy. I don't actually know at all what she's talking about, but I always say that I do. Nami looks up at you with a start. Oh, they exclaim. That reminds me. So, I'm trying to brush up on my xenoanatomy, and I'm totally fine with writing, but they blow out a big breath, ruffling their bangs. Kind of haven't been here long enough to make sure it feels right, To make it go pop. And I want to make sure that I'm being, sensitive about stuff I don't know a lot about. So I was wondering, could you help me with some of the world building? Man, if I just was a social individual and had the creativity to help you. I can try. You spend an enjoyable afternoon helping Nami with their story. When you're done, they give you a big hug and thank you profusely for your help. Alright. This, I also wish to give you a birthday present. Doesn't matter what I do, this says staring at the destruction still littering the colony from the last attack. Just crazy because an attack is going to happen next month. Every year it's the same thing. Sometimes I wish I really did blow up the wall. Then at least we wouldn't be in this stalemate. Well, I can appreciate that you didn't blow up the wall, though I'm going to have to do a run where I let you blow up the wall. See what happens. Does this interest you? You like these, so there you go. Yeah, I know. You say the thing about Tan. wanting the attention. You know what? We're just gonna spend the last month relaxing, because why not? Doesn't matter to me. Relax on the walls. Hey look, I actually found this. He gives you a short nod as you climb up onto the walls and take your place nearby. He's good company, if you're looking for the kind of company that leaves you alone and doesn't bother you very much. He's looking for the same. You're a good match for each other that way. Just want to chill and not have to talk to anybody. It's great. Keep the memories. What does it matter if I delete them now? Got to be glow. Glow season. I bet I still can't have a date. Correct. No more dates with Nem. Can I do anything with Lum? Nope. I did not assume I could convince that man. Not that my persuasion's great anyways. Glow has no time to be exploring. It's far too dangerous. The gates are closed and survey expeditions halted until the light returns in a few weeks. Good thing you know another way out. I always know another way out. I've known another way out from the very beginning. It's how me and Dis became friends. I followed him as he snuck out. We're just gonna collect all the goodies. And if Sim is out here, talk to Sim. But I don't know if he's gonna be out here. I also just realized you said we hate men in general. You're a man. I don't hate you. I also don't hate this. Hey, Sim. Or Sim. Though I don't think Sim counts as a man. He's an AI. He just happens to look like a man right now. Shadows upon shadows move against each other and glow, wavering under the gloaming of the mush trees like ghosts. The forest is as still as a creature breathing its last breath. You know to look for Sim in the hollows of the trees now. His eyes gleam in the feminine night. Hello again, Sugarbug? He chuckles, getting pretty good at navigating in the dark. Sim sets off through the darkened forest with ease, bidding you to follow. Have you come to ask me more questions? What is with that faceless I saw? Ah, Sim says with a gentle smile. Constellation. You've seen her. It's very lucky, you know. Don't ask me how she does it, but she manages to sneak around these woods like a ghost. The faceless weren't exactly designed to be mined with subtlety in mind. He lets out an amusing puff of laughter. But she's something else. No. I could have ended my run with her. And had I had a save prior to that, except, well, like an autosave or whatever, I probably would have done it, just to get an ending. Don't worry, he continues. You only see her around and glow. She doesn't like the sunlight, and unless you breathe in her spores, she's harmless, which I did breathe in some of her spores. You fix him with an incredulous look, and he shrugs. It was quite the upset when she broke away from the hole and went to seed. He replies, but as you humans say, life finds a way. Sim stops walking and smiles politely. Well, that is enough for now. The trees have ears, you know. If I only asked you one thing. But it seems I might be able to ask you another one. Yeah, I can just ask the other question. Is Noctilus the one attacking us? Sim smiles and looks off into the distance. Ah, so you've met. My condolences. Their views are difficult to hold within myself, though I understand them implicitly. Noctilucent is responsible for invasive species management, Sim adds. So, yes, repelling you falls under their domain. The most obvious method, as you've noticed, is the yearly attacks, though there are other, more subtle methods of discouraging growth. Plague and famine, for example. It doesn't need to be this way, he sighs. Sim stops walking. Yeah, the trees have ears part. Yeah, but it's gonna be this way. It's gonna be this way. You climb up to a plateau ringed with gnarlwood trees. The view is fantastic. You see the entire valley on this side of the colony from here. You have a curious sense of remembering this place. Not from your dreams, but no, from a vision you had deep under a strange pyramid. Something important will happen here, but not yet. I've had the encounter with the Faceless here. I took photos the first time I was here, and take some samples this time. Your quest for knowledge continues as you take some samples and analyze them with your holopalm. There are wacky things here. There's glowing mushrooms you've never seen before, and a strange amount of deadfall, as if there'd been some kind of localized tornado. You log fake location data, so it looks like you found these things inside the colony. Utopia would be upset if she knew where and when you actually got this. She would be. And honestly, while I probably should keep exploring, I don't know if I want to. We're just gonna go home. We'll leave the crazy amount of exploring for later off stream. More bravery and perception that I can totally acquire. Alright, let me drink some more water before we do this. Knowing the attack is coming, as it always comes in glow, does nothing to calm your nerves. There's only so long you can handle sheltering in your quarters. As the month draws longer, you find yourself almost compulsively walking the walls when you're not working, scanning the tree line for the first sign of trouble. You're there when you see them, dark on dark shapes coming out of the forest, perfectly silent. You watch with the lookouts as more and more figures amass at the forest's edge. Minutes pass as the horde pushes into the firebreak, numbering at least, it must be in the thousands, more animals than you've ever seen in one place. The ground is choked with a teeming carpet of smaller creatures, darting in and among the legs of... No. Oh no. The forest bends as a Faceless emerges from its depths, followed by two more. The mood on the wall is discouraged. One Faceless destroyed your colony. Two Faceless required an irresponsible number of explosives to take down. How are you supposed to be able to handle three? Wait, there's even more? A familiar being cuts through the horde and stands at the front, like a general leading their army. Gardeners must come in all shapes and sizes, but you know this one from the hatred in their eyes. It's Noctilucent. Noctilucent steps forward. For millennia, I have been tasked with keeping this planet safe from invasive species. I can't do a proper garbled voice for this man. Extreme weather, plague, famine, the migration of predators, all tactics I have used to ensure an invasive species cannot find a foothold where they do not belong. Their command of the human language has vastly improved since you last saw them. The gardeners learn quickly. Controlling you by indirect means has proven ineffective, they say, glaring up at the row of horrified colonists atop the walls. I can no longer ignore the destruction you have caused and the threat you represent to the planetary ecosystem. However, Sim steps out of the tree line and stands beside Noctilucent. His eyes find yours unerringly across the firebreak. Some gardeners argue that you have the capacity for reason. Noctilucent continues. So I have come to offer you an alternative, your unconditional surrender. Unfortunately, Lum probably will never agree to that. Noctilucent smirks up at you. Surrender is the correct word, is it not? Something your singular, violent brains can understand. The terms are simple. Humanity will cease reproduction, cease expansion, and in return be allowed to live out your remaining lifespans within the bounds of your walls. Do you accept? Lum steps forward. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told your little double agent spy. His voice booms out from the wall. You and your bullcrap deal can bugger off and keep buggering off until you think you've buggered off so much that you just can't bugger off any further. He points at Noctilucent. Then bugger off some more. This planet belongs to us humans now. No, it doesn't. It's hard to tell, but you think Noctilucent looks amused. Maybe they were hoping this would be your answer. And of course, with Lum speaking for the colony, it was inevitable. So be it, they reply, and the attack begins. I don't really want to fight, but I also don't want to run away like a coward. I guess. Your species is truly hopeless. This Noctilucent snarls. I told them you would never put aside your egos. You're correct. The wave of attackers rolls over the firebreak, crashing against the walls. Flying creatures scream overhead, and the sound of plasma fire fills the air. You rush towards the garrison to join the squads. As you run, you notice... Let's see. Colony defenses less than 10, greater than 5. I don't even know what colony defense is. I never checked it. I don't even know how to raise it up. Gonna be honest. They're mediocre. Which probably isn't good for us in this. As you run, you notice the colony seems to be holding its own. Nothing has reached the wall yet, and it seems the tide of monsters emerging from the trees has slowed. The colony looks evenly matched. The battle's not in the bag, but so long as the defenses hold, things look hopeful. You're descending from the walls and you're thrown to the ground by a tremendous rumble. A few meters in front of you, something tunnels towards you through the mud. You have the impression of something long and dark that cuts through the mud like a shark through water. You scramble to your feet, but it cuts off your path, forcing you towards a geoponics outbuilding. In a storage shed, mostly empty besides bales of hay used as float cow feed, it's dimly lit, but you think you see another door at the far end. The creature advances, throwing up rocks and chunks of dirt as it tunnels closer. Only in a physical run will I ever have the capacity to fight it, so I might as well fight it. Card gets +3. Ooh, that's nice. If only I had a 5. Or a means to make a 5. I want to keep my good cards. So, we'll just do all the 3s, I guess. Even though that's going to just be a 7. What actually... Yeah, no, let's do that. It's okay. +3 for other gym cards. Let's pop some gym cards up here. And see how it goes. We can do that. 34. I've got to get a whopping 43. Value is wild. Value's wild here. 7, 6, 5. Whew. It's not a super goal, but it makes it. Yes, an increase in combat as if I could do that. Colony defense goes up though. You grab a rake and back into the doorway to wait for the monster to emerge. As it rears up and thrusts a long black snout out of the ground, you stab the rake down into it, dispatching it. Before you even have time to be relieved, you spot a second one tunneling towards you. You take another step back into the storehouse and feel heat. The building is on fire. 27 stress. It's like that's a weird amount, but the hot buy it decreases it. The dry thatch roof quickly ignites and rains flaming debris down on your head, filling the room with toxic smoke. The ashy heat is intense. You can feel it ripping the moisture from your lungs with every breath. You rush for the rear door, but the fire moves so fast. You're trapped as a roof beam collapses in front of you. You hear a cracking noise, then just pain. And a noise like a bell. The world goes dark. You wake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke. Fire. This is exactly how the game started. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here, or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Nem's coming for me! Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flame. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is ringing in your ears. Climb out. You try to stand up, but one of your legs folds uselessly underneath you. It won't hold your weight. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog? Like from Earth? Wait, hold on. You remembered this from another life. This is exactly how the game starts. This dog attacks me. It's not really a dog, but... Not a dog. A monster. It's about to end your life. And probably Nem's, too. She tightens her grip on you. Let's see. Bravery 100 to shield Nem. Biology 100 to prepare for this earlier. Animals 100. Oh, that's actually really funny that all the things I did prepares all these options for me. We'll put this prepared for this earlier. You've remembered this day for many years, for 10. The choking heat of the fire, this dog creature's dead yellow eyes haunting your dreams. You've prepared for it. Specifically, you've installed an armed freeze trap right where you knew the animal would be standing when it transformed into a towering horror. As it does, you trigger the detonator. The trap sucks inward, drawing all the heat from its surroundings. The monster's feet are frozen to the floor as it instantly crystallizes, becoming an ice statue. Nem doesn't stop to wonder how this happened. She gives the statue a solid kick, and it shatters into a million fragments. That seemed like the safest way to go about that. You emerge from the inferno of the shed, burned and concussed, but alive. An enemy smiles. It's good to be alive. I feel like if I shielded her, I probably would have died. And if I fought it, who knows what would have happened to me or Nem. You have your wounds tended in the medbay. Other soldiers there are in much worse shape, but at least the battle is over. It was long and bitter, resulting yet again in the destruction of most of the sawmills and arable land. The defenders managed to repel the Xenos before damage could be done to the inner colony. Or maybe the monsters lost interest before finishing the job. It's as if the planet wants you to suffer, but doesn't actually intend to finish you off. Yet, anyway. Nice. But for now, you're just happy you survived to live another day. That day is your birthday. One last birthday. By the time you've recovered, the suns have returned. It's your 20th birthday. You're a fully fledged adult now, though in many ways you already were, and have been for a long time. You and your friends step out to greet the new day and start the rest of your life on Vertumna. The end. You reached your 20th birthday. This is the ending I got. Interesting. Botanist. I feel like I spent way more time out exploring, but that's fine. Oh, the music is nice. There's no end of species to discover on Vertumna. In your lifetime, you discover over 13,000 different species of flora and fauna, and some that transcend that distinction too. Name them after your friends. Requires rebellion less than 51. Give them silly names. Rebellion of 51 or greater. Give them silly names. Snack, Sniffer, and Wonder Fungus. Double Scrundle, Grundmutter, Gully Water, and the Tasseled Lumpkin. You discovered them, so you get to name them. Future generations will just have to deal with it. I definitely prefer the silly names. You work under Cal, who is a better boss than he wants to admit. He doesn't mind when you disappear for a month to go tromping about in search of some new variation of fungus. But what about all the different stages of Nem? After a tumultuous beginning, you and Nem finally managed to find each other. When you were just barely adults, it seemed like it would last forever. Nem becomes security chief once Red retires. Her training in defense means that the attitude of the garrison mellows in later years, and young cadets look up to her with admiration, never fear. Still, defending the colony weighs heavily on her. You watch helplessly as the endless, horrible grind of the yearly attacks takes its toll on her. When she turns to drink to help her numb the stress, you're there to support her when she's ready to claw her way back out again. You're together for a long time, long enough that when you start thinking about having children, Nem isn't as hardline against it as she was before. She agrees to 2 children, an older girl and a younger boy, so long as she doesn't have to carry them herself. Why do I not have the choice to not have kids? What if me and Nem could just exist? I suppose you are in a colony, we need people, whatever. Early motherhood is hard on Nem, but luckily you both have Aunt Anne to help raise your little ones. As the fog lifts, Nem's latent skills for caring for her younger brothers come right back to the surface. She's the most fun mom in the colony, always ready to play a game of sports ball or give a pep talk about a skinned knee. You give your son Nem's blue scale scarring enhancement too, and he sports his scars with pride just like his mom. The life of a soldier is unpredictable and unfortunately often tragic. The colony loses Nem during an attack. She was still so young, as was Com all those years ago. It's small comfort thinking that they may be together again, wherever they are. Oh, I lost Nem. That's kind of sad. I lost my wife. But what about your friend Dis keeps on exploring. He never really finds himself on the right side of colony authority, but he's the best surveyor in expeditions. Utopia defends him as best she can. He spends more and more time outside the colony walls, even during Glow, when the colony is supposed to be locked down. This earns him some distrust from the more militant factions in the colony. What is he doing out there? Who is he meeting? Utopia's word keeps him out of trouble, but it isn't enough to keep Dis from frequently being hauled in for questioning. Dis grows to resent the colony more and more every year. Not surprising. In his late 20s, he disappears during an unscheduled expedition past the resting ridges. Utopia leads the rescue attempt with you by her side. You're worried for him at first, but Utopia seems pretty calm, almost as if she doesn't expect or want to find anything. She reports that he's disappeared without a trace, and it's just the darndest thing. You always wonder if he's out there somewhere. He certainly is, I'm sure. He probably became an AI like the gardeners. But what about symbiosis, the bridge between two people? Undying, never raging, ever patient Sim becomes as much a mystery to you as the rest of the planet. The colony continues to buckle under yearly attacks and unnatural disasters, but Sim never wavers in his passion to learn everything about humanity. Though he remains as cryptic as always, his affection for your species only deepens. In your grief and demoralizing fatigue, you sometimes turn to blaming Sim. Why can't he stop these attacks? Why can't he argue with the gardeners to leave humanity alone? He never holds it against you, no matter how cruel your words. Every time you calm down, he patiently reminds you that his dissenting voice is one of the only reasons humanity hasn't been destroyed outright. Meeting Sim in secret makes you feel horrible sometimes, like you're being torn apart in the middle of this war. You love your friend, but the war takes its toll on your friendship, just like it wears down the colony. You visit Sim as your job allows it, but over time, you see him less. He doesn't need to come to your rescue anymore. You're an adult now. You know what you're doing out there in the wilds. Eventually, you stop seeing him at all. You think he might have taken another form. Maybe he's moved on from humans to study some other animals. Or maybe the gardeners have given up on understanding humans. The attacks only grow stronger every year. But what about Cal? Your friend Cal grew up but he never lost his boyish charm. Cal soon rises to the role of chief cultivator. The responsibility of feeding the colony is enormous. Cal isn't good with confrontation or pushing people as hard as your mom famously did. On years when drought or pests threaten the food supply, you often see him looking haggard. He deals with a lot of stress, and it ages him quickly. But his kind nature means he never takes it out on other people or wants them to worry about him. He's a lot like your dad in that way. He has a string of intense romantic relationships, and eventually settles down with one of the gardeners who grew up on the heliopause before transferring to geoponics. She's as dependable and friendly as he is, though as you get to know her on your weekly family dinners, you're often reminded of an enemy by the way she teases him. Together, they have a tidy little sum of children, and that's the only tidy thing about them. Their children grow up digging in the dirt, eating bugs, nearly getting mauled by farm equipment, and having a great time being kids. Cal dotes on every one of them. Cal himself never gives up on trying to convince people to live in harmony with Vertemna. Though his family is his source of strength, he struggles with the violence that's necessary for the colony to survive here. In his 50s, he's killed while defending geoponics during an attack. You grieve him deeply for many years. At least he lived to his 50s. Your dad never really recovers from your mom's death. He tries, but his smile just isn't the same. He continues to carry the weight of feeding the colony on his shoulders, ranching and farming and analyzing new native plants, trying to find better ways for humanity to thrive on Vertemna. The attacks on the colony destroy his progress every year, and the stress ages him prematurely. You watch as your father grows weaker under the strain, until one day a sudden heart attack claims him in the field. You worked hard every day to see Vertemna flourish, or he worked hard every day to see Vertemna flourish, but you have to go on without him. And I've lost both my parents. Great. To heart attacks and stress. They'll always be with you, in the ground you walk on, in the trees that give you shade, and in the cycle of life that sustains you. But what about? Your hawkeye is a good companion, but you're no replacement for its own species. When a herd of hawkeye roamed close enough to the colony, you release it back into the wild. And a few years later, they're greeted one morning by a whole litter of hawkeye kittens outside your door. Would it be kittens? They don't seem very feline to me. That's fine, though. And Hop Solo, proudly showing off their family. Yes, I named my hawkeye Hop Solo. Your Ricky grows from the size of a small dog to the size of a bear, becoming more and more unwieldy and more terrifying to small children. Before the council can force you to do anything with your arachnid octopus friend, Squiddly Fedderson just disappears. You look everywhere in the colony for it, but your answer comes from outside the wall. A new Ricky nursery tree. Soon, the colony is a host to many curious Ricky pups who call your Squiddly Fedderson home. And in my later years, the days turn to months, eventually becoming years, then decades. Before you know it, you're old, without all the important people in my life. Life is tough but rewarding. Vertemna continues to challenge you and your loved ones. They're all dead. The attacks continue every year, getting harder and harder to withstand. And not just that, but droughts, earthquakes, diseases, storms, pestilence, and more. Some years you worry that the colony, and humanity, will be wiped off the map for good. But humans are good at surviving. The adversity strengthens your resolve. You mourn your dead, celebrate your births, and keep adapting to whatever the planet throws at you. This is your home, for better or worse. You know what you can. You do what you can to make it a good one. Eventually death comes to you, as it does to everyone. In the moment of your death, your brain cells fizzle out, one by one, and shut down forever. A vision swims in your mind's eye. Is that a person? That must be me. They seem so familiar, You feel like you've known them so well. You know them so well. Oh, it's you. Only ancient. Her arms are covered with so many data bands, so many lifetimes of knowledge. The ancient you speaks without moving her mouth, not in words, but in something like pictures. Still, you understand. She smiles. We had a good life, don't you think? But there are so many possibilities, and this was only one of them. I could have done better. There was a girl. We were young together. Tammy, with the cotton candy hair. Such a shame to see a life snuffed out so young. She gives you a look, as if to say you were somehow responsible for this. Wait, were you? Could you have saved her? We have a chance to take another path, to change the way our life turned out. She reaches out a hand. Come with me. I go. The Exocolonist team. This was a very good game. I don't know how much of the credits are, so we're just gonna go look at the endings gallery. This isn't even technically the first ending here. Illustrations. I'm missing so many too. So many. And only one of 29 endings, by the way. 29. All the backgrounds. Ooh, I'm missing a couple backgrounds. Some of them are probably just jobs I didn't do. Cards. Oh man, am I missing cards. So many cards. I've got a bunch of the red ones, no surprise. What are Chivos? Oh. You were the champion. These are... Oh, Chivos are achievements! That's actually kind of funny. They call them Chivos. I realize I guess I have to press start a new life so I can actually close the game. I guess we'll... Okay, there we go. I was like, hope that doesn't, like, put me right into the start. And there's the two other ones I've added to my home screen. This and Sim. Honestly, these three are, like, some of my favorite characters. So, I'm glad I got to play this. Okay. All these content warnings. Children in peril, dying, yep. Animal cruelty and death, yep. Bodily harm and grossness, yep. Implied sexual content, yep. Violence in text, yes. Mental health and trauma, definitely. Domestic abuse, saw it. Saved them from it. Traumatic global events, yes. Major character deaths, of course. Looks like an interesting game, it definitely is. Like I said, it's got all these content warnings though, so play at your own risk. It's got 29 different endings and like 10 romanceable characters, I think. I don't remember. But it's fine. I went through my first ending, I got the botanist ending, and I dated them. And literally everybody I cared about died well before I did. That's just life, I guess. Oh well, though. Which is, I ended it in roughly 3 hours, though. Which is what I wanted to do. So we'll just end the stream here. I'll talk to you in a bit, Landon.